Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, yeah, we'll be taking automation testing using um a particular test environment, to carry out our automation. So we'll be doing it using a explain automation process to a layman. So how will I explain that? Now we're about to create a new project. So I can decide to use, you know, now we want to use SpecFlow. Besides using SpecFlow project, the reason why we're using SpecFlow is that SpecFlow makes our project, very neat, and it make it to be very, to make it to be for a non-technical person to understand the way we've written our test script and our code. However, there are other templates that we can use, to create a new project, such as the X unit, the N unit, the MS unit, and so on and so forth. So basically, we'll be using the SpecFlow. So yeah, you can continue. Yeah, let's name our project name. So the first column there talk about the project name. So what do you want to name our project name? Who is the person sharing the screen? Temitope, so what do you think we can name
Depending
this
on
project?
the project we are working on and the
Okay,
website, maybe.
yeah, the name of the project or the test. No, I don't want to use the word website. The name of the test environment that we'll be dealing with is Mentor's Kid.
Okay. Mentor skills. So what are we testing on mentor
We
skills?
are testing the sign up page.
Okay. If I'm not getting it,
Use
please.
use use uppercase for the S. Mentors, uppercase for the S, then kid. No, yeah. As a matter of fact, in terms of nomenclature, the naming patterns in automation, you have to write everything together. So what you can use to distinguish those words is the use of both the use of uppercase. Yeah, then the second column is talking about the location. The location is where exactly do you want to save this project on your machine. What do I mean by machine? On your PC, your personal computer. Do you want to save it on the C drive, or do you have a partition on your probably um on your system whereby probably C or D drive are about? So this is just about the location where you want to save uh the project name or the project itself. Though by default, it's always on the repository. Then the third column is talking about the solution. Then you have the solution name. When you click on that, place that checkboard where you have a place solution and project in the same directory. That one is just very simple, telling you that you want your project and your solution. So there's a difference between project and what? Solution. So if you want your project and your solution to be in the same directory, fine. If you want your project to be separate from where you have your directory, fine. The question is, what is directory? Directory is just like, how will I describe? It's just like a reservoir, from the word, or where you keep your, a reserve where you keep your things. So that is, the word directory. So I'm trying to use it, explain that directory to a layman. How will I describe directory? Directory is just like, oh, where I keep my things. Like if I have my shelf, my bookshelf, that is where I keep my book. If I have my money, my wallet is like my directly where I keep my what, my cash. Then if in terms of your bank account, let me say your Mozo account can be your word or directly where you keep or your money. Let's put it that way. So let's proceed from here. Yeah, then you create. Yeah. So this particular pop-up, since we are dealing with our Spectral project, then we'll be using the .NET, the latest .NET framework. If you can, the first one, don't proceed to create, where you have .NET 6.0. So let's look at the latest. What's the latest one? I think that's the latest
That's
one.
the latest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Then, yeah, remember I said something regarding, the framework, the test framework. Here we have, you can click on the drop down so that we can, understand that, we have, as I've said, we have N unit, X unit, MS test, and this is Visual Studio 2023. Am I right? What version of Visual Studio is this that you're using?
2022, I think. Yeah.
Okay, if it is 20, I know that of 2019, you have SpecFlow plus Runner as part of the test framework. So yeah, you can continue with N unit since N unit is one of the, good test framework. Another thing I would like to chip in here is that if you can see that checkbox talking about add fluent assertion library. Let me just chip in these because I've noticed from experience now is that different test framework have different assertion. Yeah, the kind of assertion you use in NUnit is quite different from the one you use in MS Unit. That's on the one you use in Etude. Though they look similar, but they are different methods of assertion. And in terms of assertion, we have fluent assertion and some other type of assertion. So let's continue. If I were you, I'll give myself an assignment in terms of understanding types of assertion. As I'm teaching, I expect somebody to be with his or her notebook and begin to also, make some jottings. I've said something regarding assertion, so you can assess something about spec flow. You can read more on spec flow and why we're using spec flow. Then assertion, types of assertion and how to use them. Yep. Now, this is how the board, or let me say the framework look like. For example, one thing I want you guys to understand is that don't forget the fact that I'm less concerned about this one. About spec flow. In terms of the creation of folder structure, you discover that even when you use spec flow, it has created some folders. You can see those folders just like the word. Let me use the label. How do I mean by folder? Just like our brown envelope. I can refer to my brown envelope as what? As folder. That is what I have on my right-hand side under the Solution Explorer. So you can see the driver has its own folders or brown envelope. Let me use that layman language. I also have my features, my step definitions, support, and I can as well create other folder structures. Another that is the use of spec flow. But if I'm to use NUnit or XUnit, MS unit, to be honest with you, you won't see this brown envelope that I call folders. Those folders will not be created. But one thing I enjoy using SpecFlow is that one, it allowed the use of a simple English language, which we call Gecko language, which is a given when then. This is not strange to you guys. You've been using it. That is why you can find an example on the feature folder or brown envelope. Yes, you can click on that features. Yeah, that means inside the feature folder, we have our feature. Let me try to explain this by the time we continue. Remember, I use the word brown envelope. If you have a brown envelope, what do you have inside an envelope? You have like a letter or your credentials in the envelope, isn't it? Under the feature folder or brown envelope, we have a document called what? Features. When you look at the step definition folder, we also have what we call document inside or a letter inside their folder. So let me just use that simple layman to understand, because by the time I start talking about class, now somebody will not get confused. That means every envelope have one or two things in it. Do you understand? Whether you say yes or yes, I assume it is yes. Yeah. So the next thing we need to do is that, although I did not start these automation guys with, process with you, otherwise there's a principle I call 12 disciple. Those 12 disciples are just like a guide or steps in, just like a step-by-step method. I'm used to explaining how to set up or creating your first SpecFlow Selenium test framework. And as a matter of fact, you guys have done, we just started by what's it called, creating the test project. However, some of the first steps include the download and install the Visual Studio, which you have already done. Then to integrate, SpecFlow extension. And in terms of creating folder structure, some of the folder structure has been created, but we still need to create some additional folder like the page object and the what's it called? The hook folder, the hooks folder. All right, are you with me, guys? So why not? Let's quickly do that before let's quickly do that. Let's create another folder. And before you create another folder, don't forget I talk about the difference between solution and the what? And the project. The project itself is where I think you can like that. I don't think that should be new to you guys. Even you can see one of one project. That is where you have the project.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see one of one project. Don't forget the fact that when we were creating this project, that's where we call saving the project, like saving the project and the uh in the same repos, in the same directory. That is why you have one of one. That means you have a project in a solution all in the same what directory. That is why you're having it one of one project. Are you with me? So let's proceed. Let's continue to add another folder, which is a brown envelope. Good. I believe virtually everyone knows how to create this. So let's create a folder for our hooks. Yep. Then another folder for our page objects. Apologies, my voice might look somehow because I have cold. Yes. Yeah, having done that, I think the next thing that we need to do is to add our Nugget packages. So, as a layman, a child might ask me, or my son might ask me, what do you mean by Nugget package? I will tell you that, oh, well, it is not Nugget chicken, but however, Nugget packages are just like those specimens, so spices you put in your jollof rice, because what constitutes let me say, your fried rice, things like your green pea, carrot, all those additives, that you put that is what make up what the jollof what's it called, the fried rice. So those nugget packages are those packages that are needed in order to run your automations. Otherwise, if you don't have your nugget package, definitely the Visual Studio or the framework that we have is of no use. So let's add our nugget packages. Yeah, you can go through that, that from the right hand side in terms of your packages, or you can also do that also at the, let me say, at the footer where you have, is it the tools? I think you click on the tools before you can get there, thereabout. Yeah, let's proceed. Yeah, from the tools, you can see Nugget Package Manager, then from Manage Nugget Package for Solution. So there we bring you to this page. So what do we do here? We had every of those, those, let me say, recipe that are needed in order to make our project to work as expected. As I've said, remember I said I use the word nugget packaging, each time I remember, what's it called? Nugget chicken. So you remember what they mean by nugget package. That if you want your nugget chicken, or if you want to make your fried rice, there are some important, recipe or ingredient that you need to add to it. So now you are at what's it called, at the nugget package. That means I need to add some packages. In terms of, let's look for, since we're dealing with spec flow, I have don't forget the fact that the framework we use was NUnit, to be honest. So I have to install I don't know, maybe it has been installed. The NUnit itself, then the NUnit 3 test adapter. So you need to install those package on its own.
Okay.
Not
Can I
not
update?
update. No, you don't need to update. What you need to do is that you go to browse.
All right.
Because the question is that what if your son asks you, why did you want to update? You can only update what you have. But I just said, I just like when you talk about your spices for your rice, you can't tell me you want to let me say, update or upgrade spices when you don't know those spices. So I have to know those spices before I can either update. For example, if you want to add your carrots to your, to your jollof, to your fried rice, how do you update? You can update the carrot if the carrot has not expired, or if it's not too sticking or too soft, or if it is not orange in color. But as a matter of fact, you need to search for it before you can update. Do you understand why I said no for update, but browse first? So, yeah, let's continue with the hen. Let's start with the hen unit. I think that first one is very important.
Hi, Olusegun. Sorry, can I ask a question, a quick one? Sorry,
Yes,
if,
proceed.
for example, I'm in a new job and the last QA left the company and I joined, how
Okay.
would I be able to identify if, for example, the packages have not been added? How would I know what's missing, and how would I be able to proceed from there?
Yeah, let me quickly answer that question. To be honest with you, when you join a new company, if you are not, from what you just said to me, that shows that there's been a tester that has been working with this already installed and set up framework. So as a matter of fact, I don't think you need to update or to install anything. Yours is just to continue from where the person stopped. But if you are the only tester that's probably the new company and they're like, oh, as a matter of fact, we've been using Java, you have experience in C Sharp. Oh, why not set up this for us? So that means you are more or less like the Lord of the Ring of that particular Visual Studio. So you'll be the one to set up. You might like, okay, I know any unit. You guys will take any unit. I know SpecFlow, you guys, you know, it is what you give out to them. But from your question, it shows that it has already been existing. The project, or let me say so, definitely you won't have any issue like that. However, there are some places of work whereby they have their, they have like a software center where they probably install most of all these things. So it is good you ask.
Okay.
You ask.
Thank you.
But that shouldn't be a problem. And even there are times, even while you are carrying out automation, that even if you did not remember every of those Nugget packages, let me give an example. I said Nugget packages are just like your recipe you are using, you want to prepare your fried rice. Maybe don't forget that even salt is part of your recipe. Probably while you are cooking and you now taste that like, oh, there's no salt. What do? You had it. So even if we didn't get all those required Nugget package that is required, by the time you want to run your test, what's it called? It will definitely throw out an error that, oh, you need to so it is very required. So that is one beauty thing about Visual Studio. So
Okay.
I think the first two, you need to install the first two.
All right, the end unit has already been installed. The first two has already been installed. So,
okay, cool. So the next one is the Selenium. Apologies for those of you attending my church. I love using that word Sele. So just type in your Sele. And a quick question that somebody needs to jot down. Why are we using Selenium? What is Selenium itself? Yep. We have the Selenium WebDriver. So let's install that.
Okay.
Excuse me, Segun.
Yep. Proceed.
Yeah.
Ask your question.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in a place I can't be talking much. I've been dropping question on the chat. Yeah, so if you can help look through, please. Thank you.
Hey, well, that is what cool. Sometimes those things used to distract me. Please, what do you mean by hooks and the page objects? I'm going to come into that. Yeah. Don't worry. By the time I continue, then I'm going to answer that question, page objects. Yeah, let me quickly answer that question. What you mean by hook? Remember, I said let him create a folder. When we started this project, there are some pre-installed folder, which was the driver, the features, the step definition, and the support. Later on, I asked him to do what? To install some folder, to create some folder or the brown envelope, hooks and page object. As I've said, if I've started this project with you guys, I could have given you guys what I call the 12 disciple or the 12 steps to set up a framework from scratch.
Olusegun, I did. Only I didn't call it 12 disciples.
I'm used to call it 12 disciples so that I would not forget.
So we did step by step into creating a project from installation to your test first project passing. However, I didn't use all these words we are using. Now, for a second, what's your name? Davis, can you pause the recording? Because to be honest, I don't like what I'm seeing on the chat. Olusegun is explaining something, and like if you
so welcome back once again. So let's continue from the Nugget packages. Don't forget, Nugget packages are what? Your recipe. Now, Selenium. So the question is, how do you know those Selenium? I gave an assignment, just a classwork regarding Selenium, that you should go and learn more about Selenium. Now, the first one you have there is Selenium.WebDriver. If I were you, I will jot this somewhere for me to know those Nugget packages that needed to be installed. So you've done that, you've installed that, I can see that. Then the second one is Selenium.support. Click on that. The question is, how do you know if the Selenium.support has been installed? when you look at that logo, that green logo of Selenium SC, beneath it, you see that tick mark, that green mark. So that is to tell you that it has been what? It has been installed. Yeah. The third one that we need to do is, don't forget the fact that don't go anywhere. Still remain there. In terms of browser, everybody use phone, you use your laptop to browse. Talking about browser, we have different browsers. In those days of Opera Mini, you have your Chrome driver, which is the popular one. You have your Internet Explorer, that was the old school name, but now they call it Edge. You also have your Firefox, the Firefox Mozilla. All those ones are what? Browser. Now, don't forget, I gave an assignment about Selenium, but I can tell you now, or give you an expo that what do you use Selenium for? Selenium simply, is an open source tool that we use to automate web application. That means we use it to test, to run automation on web application. What do we mean by web application? Some people will say website. That is fine, accepted, but you use that Selenium, you use Mr. Selenium to automate it, to run automation. So that is why we are using Selenium. However, Mr. Selenium also have what is packages, which is the selenium.webdriver, selenium.support. Then we said we use Selenium to automate web application. And don't forget that when we're talking about web application, then we shall be referring back to what our browser. I've just mentioned, different type of browser. But for this purpose of this teaching, we'll be using the Chrome driver. So, Mr. Temitope, click on the third one, which is selenium.webdriver.chrome driver. If you don't want to use Chrome driver, you can use Selenium. You can see the fourth one, which is the other one. You can see the one which is selenium.webdriver.ie driver. That is Internet Explorer, as it's popularly called Edge. But for this purpose, we'll be using selenium.webdriver.chrome driver. Yeah. So click on that. Then you install that.
Done?
I don't think so. Otherwise, it ought to have. You've not installed it. Have you done that?
Yes.
Yeah. For me to know, remember I said I don't think so because I've not seen that mark.
Yeah.
Click on it. Yeah. Please note one thing. In front of the selenium.webdriver.chrome driver, I can see one particular matric number 126.0 that looks like my grandfather account number 126. Okay, that is telling you the version of the Chrome driver. With time, we're going to look at that, but not now. So yeah, so let's continue. So let's probably exit from the Nugget package. Remember when you want to prepare your fried rice, after you must have added those what's it called, Nugget package or the recipe, what do? You cover the rice so that everything will be done, isn't it? So let's continue. Yep. Do you still continue with your recipe?
Spec flow. Do we need spec flow?
Yeah, you can. Okay, let's check spec flow. To be honest, remember we've installed the spec flow. So the essence of checking this is to know whether it has been installed or not. But the matter of fact, we can continue to install our spec flow. Yes, why not? You can also install your spec flow. Since we're using NUnit framework, then the spec flow.NUnit framework, spec flow. I know there's something spec flow plus dot something living doc, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Anyways, you don't need to cram these. Okay, install these, then install the one of specflow.NUnit. Yeah, that one. I think
that's already installed. It needs update.
Okay, then this other one, MS build generation. I'm not too sure, but to be honest, as I've said earlier, sometimes if you're running automation and it's telling you that it is going to run because you still need to put your source, then you're going to install that particular probably error if it is throwing an error or a warning. Well, I'm not sure of this one, but what about this specflow.NUnit? You need to install that.
It's installed. Just
okay, it's installed. All right. Okay, update.
Yeah.
Okay, you can. Okay, good. Why not? You can update that.
Okay, Shegun, sorry to interrupt again. One of the questions I dropped, I think you've answered it, but I just needed to be sure if what I'm thinking is correct. If you look at this spec flow now, you have various spec flows there. I was asking, how do you actually know which one in particular, like without using a video recording like this side by side, how do you know which one to choose? But I've heard you say something like when you are running the automation, when the error comes up, somehow it will tell you you are lacking so package.
Let me quickly answer your question, which I so much believe that even before now, Rita must have explained this to you guys in terms of this particular page, that of hiding your nugget packages. I trust her, she must have listed those packages for you to know. The first two, since you guys are using NUnit, there's NUnit, which is pre-installed. The most important one so far, according to me, is just the one of Selenium. The Selenium dub, WebDriver, Selenium dub, blah, blah, blah. Those three Selenium, you need to install. Excuse me. Then in terms of, mind, don't forget the fact that we are using NUnit. So that is why you have to install that specflow.NUnit. So as I'm doing this, you're supposed to be jotting it down so that you will not forget.
I am.
Don't forget there's another one there that you can see specflow.xunit. We are not dealing with xunit, we are dealing with NUnit. So there's no point installing that. If you even install that, you are not going to use it, so it will not have any effect. Do you understand? It will not have any effect so far. So let's quickly now move to the project itself. And I can
Hold on. Pause the recording 1 minute. Sorry. Davis.
Good. Yes. As a matter of fact, that Test Explorer, do you know how to dock it?
I think he has it already on the side.
It has not been properly docked.
So he's got Test Explorer twice now.
Are you sure? No.
Look at the side. Yeah, there.
Okay. Click that. Let me see.
That's just to minimize it.
Just to minimize it. But click on it again. I don't want to waste time on this, but it has not been properly docked. Do you not understand what I mean by it's not properly docked?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been trying to correct the dockings, but I do not want to scatter.
It's a gimmick. It's a style. Okay. If you're among those people that nail those two thieves on that cross, you know how to dock very well. What you need to do is you're going to drag where you have at that particular point. While dragging, I might not see it. Then you're going to see that available, that cross. Then you try to place it on the last end of the left-hand side. Then you release your hand. Hey, Mba. Did you see the cross? I can't see it because you're sharing your screen, but you should be able to do that. Okay, thank you. Anyways, I don't want this thing to waste our time. You can take the test away. You can test the test away. Hey, why did you put the Test Explorer on your Solution Explorer? Just take the Test Explorer away. Oh, goodness.
I would try to figure.
Do you know what? Please just restore the Solution Explorer. Go to your view. Go to your view. Go to your view. Don't worry. Just go to view. Solution Explorer is the first one you have there. Click on it. Please, I mean to take it back to its right-hand side. It's not a sinner. This one we go to, yeah. Just you did not arrange it properly. Temitope. Oh, do you know the meaning of that docking? There's no way, don't put it up. What do you know what you're going to do? Try to move that Solution Explorer to the middle of your screen. Then that docking, what's it called? That cross is going to appear. Once it appears, then try to put where you have that the top of your Solution Explorer, try to now place it at the last end of the end of that cross.
Okay.
Of that docking sign. Once that thing appears, then just try to put it towards the last end.
I am on the edge. It's not.
Do you know one thing? As you are dragging, continue to drag that Solution Explorer on the top. As you are dragging it, that docking sign, that docking something is like a spirit. It will appear on your screen.
I can see it.
That is why I said it's a spirit. Me, I cannot see it, but you can see it, because you are in the spirit. On the lost book. Yeah.
I always avoid this docking, especially when you are trying to direct somebody. It's very difficult. Except you now want to request control, because I don't like getting involved. If you are doing it by yourself, because you see the cross. But once you are trying to direct somebody that don't know how to use it, it's always difficult.
So when I put it on the edge, it disappears.
No.
Except because if not, we will sleep here. Just request control and fix it.
Yo, wow.
Time is going.
How do they even do this thing again?
Request control, you should say. Go to.
There's a breakout from.
No.
Oh, we are using, what's it called?
We are not using Teams, it's Zoom.
I'm not used to this Zoom.
You'll get used to it this night. Let me see. Let me just take it. It should be.
Is there a way I can take control of the screen using Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
You seen it?
Yeah, request,
at the top also. Temitope, you have to approve it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is what I asked him to do.
Okay.
This is what I asked you to do. You are doing like old man from Kubuki land. Hope you know where Kubuki land is. Where's your Text Explorer? Once you see it, but immediately you are alighting towards where you want it. You see it will show like a purple, then you release. It will go there. View again. Solution Explorer. Why is it coming to this side? I think there are some village people controlling this thing. Okay, let me leave it. Let's continue with what we are about.
Olusegun, the Text Explorer is underneath the Solution Explorer at the bottom.
Okay, I can see Text Explorer here. Let me delete it. What's it looking for here? Good. Thank you. Yeah, view again. Why is it appearing here?
Probably try and drag it off there and see if it's going to, like, from that bottom instead of dragging the whole tab. Like, click on Solution Explorer and try and drag it out underneath here. Let's see if it's going to work.
Still the same.
No, I mean, like, drag it from the bottom. Let's see if it's going to work. Like, drag it out. Yeah, from there.
Yeah, you are right. Absolutely right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, let's leave it this way. Let's continue. Temitope.
Sir.
Over to you. I've given you your control. I'm not the owner of your fake laptop, so continue with you.
All right.
So, guys, that is it as regarding docking. You guys still need to practice that in terms of docking. Very, very important. However, let me just tell you something. In a situation whereby after you must have docked your work and you're having challenges, you can save the template that you have on your system. So if you want to do that, you click on Window. I'm just giving you an example. Just click on Windows. Then there's where we see save window layout. If you don't want your layout to get scattered, you can see where you have your save window layout. You click on it. Click on it, then you can name it. You can give it a name. You can name it Akelapa or Imiloko layout. Then you save. You can probably name it Temitope's layout or any layout, or you can save it as the same new layout one. Click on OK. All right. So what does that mean? A situation where probably you made a mistake, you cancel your Text Explorer, or most of those things were not properly done. By the time you go back to your window and you click on Apply layout, is going to probably restore the normal, layout platform. All right, let's go back to let's start the main business itself. So the name of the what's it called, project that we want to automate, remember you said we want to automate the sign up page of MentorSkid. So let's look at the test environment on its own. Let me quickly oh, you want to Google that out, right? Well, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, click on that. So that will not go to too much. Yeah, go to. Okay. Yeah. Click on it. Click on it. Yes. So this is what we are going to do, fellow testers. We want to, do the sign ups. That means given I am a MentorSkid, blah blah blah. When I click on sign up, click on the sign up. Then I start filling out these form, the first name, the last name, email address, and the enter password, select this. Then from that, I click join us. So let's start with this. You know one thing, instead of going towards okay. So exactly. So let's continue. Hope you know how to write your features, isn't it? This is not strange to you guys. Don't forget. Yep. Proceed. So how do you add your features?
We go to add new class.
Okay, continue. Let me see. Okay.
Then
spec flow. Okay, good.
Then
yep. As you are doing that, you can say, okay, mentor or MentorSkid sign up, or you can just put it, instead of writing, why not put it as a sign up page? Or it depends. Yeah. Anyhow. Sign up features, yeah.
I think I have something saved that sign up, so let me just.
Okay. Yeah, MentorSkid, sign up. Please take note of one thing. Beside the features, every other folders carries a class. So I don't want to get you confused. Remember, I said those folders are your brown envelope. I can remember vividly I said in every of those brown envelope, we have credentials or letters. Let me use this simple layman to explain to you guys. Features has a brown envelope, and what is in the brown envelope is a check, money. Every other brown envelope does not have check. They only have letter from Royal Mail. How do I mean? The check is the feature, while the other letter from Royal Mail is a class. If I were you, I would just put that small jotting down. I'm just trying to explain that. I'm explaining to my son that, as far as the future file is the future folder is concerned, it has the check. Every other folders, other brown envelope, my hooks, my page object, my step definition does not have check in their folder. What they have there is what? Letter from Royal Mail. How do I mean by letters from Royal Mail? I'm referring to those ones as what? As class. So proceed. Click on hard. Yep. So this is the check. How do I mean by the check? This is the future file itself. So that means my future folder has a file inside it or a check I call what? My MentorSkid sign up. And how do I mean? So in this particular future, in the future file, we have my future itself. Then I also write what I want to do in terms of as a user or MentorSkid, test environment or website. I want to sign up. Continue now as a user on MentorSkid website or web page. Or MentorSkid website or say that the next line. Don't forget that this is more like your acceptance criteria for those of you that that are very, very sound in manual testing. What I have here is like writing my acceptance criteria, my AC. Am I right? I want to sign up then so that I can be a registered mentor. Yes, one advantage of using SpecFlow is that even by creating the features, don't forget the fact that it's something we know that it enables us to write our test script in a very simple English format or in a very simple English language using the given when then Gherkin language. As a matter of fact, it's very easy to know that those Gherkin language. Please, I will advise you might be asked your interview question. Gherkin language, do you mind to explain the Gherkin language? Oh, why not? The Gherkin language includes a given when then you begin to explain what the given is, which I believe is not new to some of you. So definitely you should know what that given starts for. The given is a precondition, the when, that is when an action takes place, then the result of the step of the action. So if I were you, I will write down that because you might be asked in your, what is it called? It's not in your WAEC, but you can be asked in your interview. Nobody's doing WAEC here. That explain those given the Gherkin language, the given when then. So let's continue. So what is the scenario? What do we want to do? So the scenario is what?
MentorSkid sign up test or test MentorSkid sign up.
Yes, we are not new in testing, but in terms of scenario, from that word, English language scenario, what do you want to do? As a matter of fact, I want to carry out a successful registration on MentorSkid, isn't it? That is what the sign up is all about. And don't forget that as a tester, there are, when you are testing, you carry out both positive and negative scenario, isn't it? So what we are doing is a positive scenario that probably I want to verify or validate a successful, registration on MentorSkid. That is a positive word scenario. Verify a successful or sign up. So anyway, anyhow you can use those sentences so that the layman will wants to understand what you're doing. Yeah. So for let me say this evening we'll be looking at the positive scenario. An assignment to you guys again. Go and learn the difference between scenario and scenario outline. As I've said, as you are doing this, we'll be teaching ourselves again. You can jot that down anyway. Difference between scenario and scenario outline. You might be asked in your interview. And as a matter of fact, as a tester, you'll be able to carry out testing using the scenario outline. And that reminds me again, you can also jot it down that how do you use background? Everybody has a background. If you are from Africa, you have your family background, isn't it? So how do you use background in automation? You can also jot that down. Anyway, it's not compulsory. So given, so let's continue with line 9.
Hold on, Olusegun. Guys, did you remember I talked about that background? Simone. Is Simone on the call?
Hi, yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Did you guys remember I talked about the background?
Can't remember.
Yes.
Who said yes? Who said yes?
That
was when I said I wanted to take you guys on share step. So when I announced it, you see, because you didn't write it down. You guys didn't write it down. And I told you that day, I said, we are not recording. You guys are not taking note of anything. And Olusegun is doing the same thing again. He's saying exactly the same. So, yeah.
All right, thank you for that. Don't worry, you guys will enjoy it. Let's be
Is there
now.
a time where we'll be able to actually like see it? Like, does that make sense?
That can only be done in advance. And the reason being, and what I also said was depending on what you are being given. I explained it now. When I also said if you are doing a case of negative and happy testing, you can have a background.
I think I need to see it. It's like I think some people, well, me
I
especially, I'm
explained
a visual learner. Yeah.
When I said you can use the first 2-3 steps as your background when it's the same, rather than repeating it.
Oh, so that is basically your shared steps
and your background. So for automation, it's called background.
For manual, but for manual, it's shared steps. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Anyway, I'm going to say it here. You guys should take all these things serious in terms of shared steps in your manual testing. How you use shared steps in your Azure DevOps, very important. And yeah. Since it's the recording section, there's certain things I do. It's not. I shouldn't see. Yeah, given I'm a user on MentorSkill, website or web page. So what did you do? That is your precondition. When I click on the sign up, so let's do it together. Why not open the website? Then you see what you do from the beginning. So when you click on the sign up, so what happened?
It brings a sign up page.
Okay.
Where I fill my details.
Yeah, not your details. I enter your first name.
Okay. Should I do that now or just
yes, go back then write it in part of the features. Remember, you click on the sign up button. That sign up is a button, isn't it?
Yes.
Then the next step will be use and then, but let me just quickly explain one or two things to you guys. And I enter, don't forget the fact that somebody might ask me a question. When it click on that sign up page, something happened. It was directed to a page where it's going to do the sign up, isn't it?
Yes.
Remember, it was when you carry out that action, that click, then it led you to another page where you have the registration page that you fill that things up, isn't it? So anyway, I'm just trying to explain so that we should be mindful of how we use our giveaway then. So line 11, and I enter my first name. No, wait, go to that same line 11. Remember, I gave you guys an assignment that go and learn how to use the difference between scenario and scenario outline. And I enter my first name. You can put a quote. Let your first name be Temitope or Ajekulaye or Ibilokan. Yeah. The reason why I'm referring to this is that there's what we call parameterization. If I were you, I will write it down again. Go and learn more on how to use parameterization in your future file. It will be very, very helpful when you are dealing with things, when you are dealing with, probably if you are inputting a feed. And I enter my first name like your line 11, then your line 12, and I enter my surname. Am I right? Is that what is in the website?
Sorry, yeah, and I enter my
last name.
It's last name.
Yeah, and I enter my last name. I don't want to go into deep so that you guys will like, what is this talking about parameterization? So that parameterization or using scenario outline, scenario outline, to be honest, we help you when it comes to issue of entering some words in a feed like line 11, 12. And I enter, what's the next one?
Email address.
Email address. So you can put your email address there. You can put...
Sorry.
Yes.
Is it not always better? You were saying earlier now that just in case you wanted to go through like your happy path and your negative scenario as well, is it not just always easier instead of putting my first name that you just put a valid? Because if you're going to go through a negative, you probably go invalid, isn't it?
You mean in that same line level, isn't it?
Yes. So
Let
you
me
enter
quickly.
a valid first name, a valid last name, and valid email address.
Anyway, acceptable. Don't forget the fact that it depends on how you don't it depends on how you are the one writing the test script, you understand? So if that reminds me of one thing based on what you say, there's something as a tester. Sometimes as a tester, not at all time you copy your acceptance criteria the way it is being written by a business analyst, by the BA. The BA will write, the acceptance criteria and write, the way they write their user story given. They too might use this Gherkin language to write their user story that you guys call your PBI, the backlog what's it called? PBI, prioritize, backlog items in the Azure DevOps. As a tester, it's not all the time that you do copy and paste. There are times you need to understand the story, then you now sit down and look at how you create or you develop your test cases as far as manual testing is concerned, or your test script as far as automation is concerned. Yes, you can do that, and I enter my valid first name, fine, but don't forget my scenario. I've just explained it. I want to verify a successful sign up on MentorSkip. That scenario itself is telling me that is a positive scenario. You understand? That scenario, line 8, is telling me that is a successful. So there's no point me saying and I enter a valid first name. Fine, if you want to do it like that, why not? It's okay. And the reason why I would rather suggest I should leave it this way is that in a situation, if I want to carry out my negative scenario, in terms of negative testing, I might decide that, okay, it is the email address that will be that will be wrong. Instead of it having outlook.com, it might just have outlook at outlook.co or at outlook, that is all. Automatically, you know that is invalid email address. So in my negative scenario, just like, you guys want me to explain that background, my line 9, 10, 11, 12 can be the same. Instead of being a tautology, because I have the same 9, 10, 11, 12 in my positive scenario, in my negative scenario, then I can use those ones as what? As background. Why my line 13 will just be the only one for my valid, then the other one that is invalid, I'll create another line for that. But I don't want to confuse you guys. Temitope, we are dealing with positive scenario. So at outlook.com, make it .com, please. Are you sure that email address is correct?
Yeah, very correct.
Okay, so so let's go back to that test environment. So after that, then I enter password. Hope I've answered your question. I'm not the person that was asking that question.
No, it's fine. It wasn't really a question. I was just saying that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Thank you.
Yep. When you get to advanced, then you begin to understand how you can, work on most of all these features. Then I click on mentors. Be the next. Yes, I'm going to give you an assignment. Please know the difference between radio button. What's the other type of button again? I've forgotten. Rita, can you remind me? There's this type of button.
Sorry, what did you say?
And I click on the mentor. I'm talking about those buttons. There are different type of button.
And I click on then I click on mentors button what to register to create an account.
Let him open that website.
Did you do exploratory test?
No.
Submit button.
Yeah.
Button.
I'm trying to
so this bit, is it the join?
No. Oh, sorry.
Mentor. This part.
Oh, check.
I'm trying to explain certain things to them, but
That
worry.
what? I
And
don't
and I
understand.
click on the radio button of the Mentor. Remember
Is
there
it
are
a
different.
radio button?
There's a radio button. You know, the circular one is a radio button. I want to remember the name of that square one, but
Checkbox.
yeah, checkbox.
That's what I said. So we are doing radio button now.
Yeah, that is radio button. Why did he cancel it? And I click or I select. It should be select. No, you say click because you click on it. It's not maybe you and I click on the radio button for a Mentor. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I know there's a radio button, there's checkbox. The circular one is the radio button. Then the checkbox is the one that has what's it called? That box itself. Lower. So what's the next step?
And I click on agree.
Okay. That one is a checkbox. Is a checkbox. So the next one, and I click on the checkbox for the terms and condition. Or I click on terms and condition checkbox. And I click on the join now button.
Is that not the last stage?
The last stage would then be the assertion. Then, excuse me.
The join now, is that not the then?
Pardon?
Is the join now not the then? Let me see the website. Yeah,
you can use then. Oh, then I click on the join now button. The join now button.
Sorry, I thought the then is for the result of the action.
Yes,
that's what I wanted to ask.
It can wait to
because the scenario says verify
the then is more like the assertion. The then is going to be the output.
Should the output not be the landing page for this Mentor's Kit? The landing page.
Yes, we read the landing. We read the output. We read the end result of what happened at the end of this one.
Yes.
Yeah, continue. That one would be, and I click on the joiner button. Then probably a successful message is displayed. So let's send a message to me. Let me quickly acknowledge that.
All right.
So then a successful message is displayed. As a matter of fact, I could have asked us to, but we can use that as an assertion anyway. So this is how to write your, let me say, your positive scenario, a valid scenario. So from there, what do you do now?
We save all, clean and build.
There's no time for you to create and build. You can see from here, the next thing we need to do is to generate your step definition. Do you know how to do that?
Yes.
Excuse me, please proceed, please.
Should I define steps now?
You are the one teaching me now. How will I know?
No.
Rita did teach us to clean and build first and then to define steps afterwards.
Yeah, in automation.
But you have to save it. You have to save it, Tenny.
The reason why I asked you to do is that there's one thing about automation. You can discover that when you try to do that, it wasn't responding. Excuse me. Then you save and what did you just do?
I saved.
Okay.
Save all.
Clean and build. Clean solution, the build solution. Excuse me. Yeah, a quick one. Somebody might ask, why do we need to clean and build solution? Anyway, let me use a layman to explain this. Don't forget the fact that we are saving all these projects in our directory, isn't it? And as a matter of fact, if you remember, I used an example earlier on that your directory is just like your wallet where you save things. Automatically, if all like your bookshelf, if you're adding more stocks to your bookshelf, what do you need to do? You need to arrange and update that, this thing has been properly arranged. So everything we have been doing, we have to save it. If you do not save it, it will be lost. So that is why, one, you have to clean. The build cleaning means that, okay, it's just like the normal cleaning, you arrange it. Then the build means that you have to more or less, I don't want to use the word update, that everything have to be intact. Everything have to be in your in your repository or in your directory rather. So you proceed. Oh, good. Now the step definitions has been generated. All right. You shouldn't forget, according to the step definition, remember I told you, don't forget, let me give a quick recall. I said beside the feature that only have the feature folder that has the feature as the check, every other folder has what? Class. Remember, I was using Royal Mail as an example. Good. So now let's go to our hooks. The question is, what do we do in this hook folder brand envelope?
Create a class.
You create a class. I love that. So what do you create? There's one thing about Royal Mail. Sometimes they bring some junks mail that you don't need. But as a matter of fact, in our hooks, the Royal Mail is delivering a letter to us. And that, and that, remember I said it is only your future that you'll be able to have your future file. Every other folders, they are all class. So I'm not expecting you to click on SpecFlow.
Okay.
So click on general. There are two methods you can do that. You can create the class here directly.
Okay.
Or you can go to, you can do that here. But for our hooks, go to general. Is it general that you go to? If I can still remember. Oops. Wait, click on SpecFlow. Sorry. Yes, you can see SpecFlow hooks event binding. Yeah. It's a class. So click on that. SpecFlow hooks event binding. Did you click on that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so let's name our hooks a base test. Some can name it as base test, some can name it as web hooks. Well, I love using the word base test. Then you add. Click on add. Hope somebody can see how we created that base test. Good. There's something I want you guys to understand. If you go back to your future file, please. A quick reminder of certain things before we continue with our base test. Your future file, your mentor skid sign up. As a matter of fact, that first one, the calculator of features, you can delete it, but you can still leave it. Your line 7, what did you notice? Your line 7 in the future, you can see at tag 1, isn't it?
Yes.
Sorry, let's just glance through these particular features. Line 7 at tag 1. What do you mean by tag 1? Okay, let's go back to your feature, to my base test, which is the letter from Royal Mail. Let's quickly just go through what is happening here. My base test is a class. And don't forget that class is present in a folder called hooks, isn't it?
Yes.
This is just like a default telling us what we needed to do. As a matter of fact, as a tester, you must understand what our base test really does. You must understand it. Fine. Line 10 is talking about before scenario at tag 1. Line 19 is telling me before scenario, order equal to 1. Scroll down. Then line 28 is telling me something about after scenario. So that means there are certain things that they're trying to, probably explain here. Let me quickly just give you a small rundown about our base tests or our hooks. Hooks is the folder, don't forget. Why the base test is the class. So let me talk about the base test or the class itself. Or let me use the word hooks. One thing about hooks. Sorry, apologies, sorry. I want to sneeze. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me just quickly give you a small rundown. But as a matter of fact, you guys still need to do some assignment about understanding more about your hooks or your base tests. From what we can see on our screen, that before scenario is telling us certain action, certain things that have to be executed before scenario. Where do we mention scenario? We mention scenario in our features. You remember? That in our features, we have what we call the scenario. That means certain things must happen before a scenario. That is why we have line 10 and line 20, and certain events or certain code have to be executed after your scenario, which is line 28. Hope you're enjoying my story. If I'm to explain this to my son, I'm going to have to look, before you get to school, before you get enrolled into school, certain things have to be put in place. Then after your graduation or in school, certain things have to be implemented. What you have in your line 13 and 16 is telling you, explaining certain things. If I'm to explain to you, I'm like, okay, what are, he's going to ask me, Daddy, what are those things that must happen before I get enrolled into higher institution? That means before senior, I'm like, okay, before you get enrolled into a school, definitely you must have your school uniform, you must probably write an examination. Okay, it's not compulsory to write an examination if it is, this early class. You must be well behaved. You must have your school uniform. You must have your book. Probably your writing material. Those are what scenarios. Those things that must be in place. Then what about after scenario? I'm like, oh, Daddy, you want something that's after scenario? That means after you've been enrolled, then that means you must study is one thing. The second thing that you must take an examination, which is then the third one is that then you graduate. That is the after scenario. I've used this simple, to explain what happened before scenario and after scenario. In this Visual Studio, you have it as before scenario at tag 1. It's telling you that certain things that must happen. Go to your feature file. Now, what are those things that must happen before executing line 8? That line 8 is a scenario, isn't it? So that's why you have it at tag 1. Before scenario at tag 1, telling you that there are certain things that must be in place before you can execute this particular code. Before you can get enrolled in the school, there are certain things that must be in place. That is what that base test is just explaining. And there are certain things that must happen afterward scenario. Do you understand? So, sometimes I don't like using that at tag 1 because what about the situation whereby I have 100 scenarios in a particular features? Does that mean I will not begin to write before scenario 1, before scenario 2, tag 1? Go back to your base test. Hope I'm not too fast. What I'm trying to say is that, sometimes if you should look at it now, you have before scenario in how many times? In 2 different places, line 10 and line 19. But the one he's talking about is the one of line 10 at tag 1. The question is, what if I now have, multiples of scenarios? I don't want to go. There's a particular testing that we call, using the page object module. If you're using page object, it's possible that you have many scenarios where you run your test in multiple times, in in different scenarios. But for this purpose, since we are only running one test, and even if you are having many features, you'll be running certain steps. So I would rather advise that we use just one before scenario and something that will happen after one scenario. So that means you are using one scenario. So sometimes I love deleting that hashtag one. It's of relevance. So in summary, every of this epistle I've been preaching is that your business about the execution of some codes or some line of codes or some actions before scenario and after scenario. So let's now go into the coding. Yep. Temitope, delete those items. I would rather advise that you delete line 19 to 26. The before scenario, that one that has we deal with order equal to 1, line 19 to 26. Delete it. Delete. Good. Then delete all those epistles according to apostle base test that you have in your you even know all these things. Are you a man of God? Good. There's certain things I want to explain here. Remember, line 18 is talking about after scenario. Then the method we have in line 19. Good. Somebody is looking, what do you mean by method? If I were you, I will write it down. What is a method? What we have in line 19 is talking about after scenario. Line 11 is telling me before scenario with tag. Are you getting it now? So just remove that with tag. I don't want to be using tag. That you can see where you write line 11. I'm talking about line 11. Before scenario with tag. That English language. No, not everything. That word with tag. Just delete it. I don't want to use the word. Then in your line 10, just remove that tag. No, I only ask you to remove that tag and the open and close bracket. Just remove so that you only have your after scenario.
Did I remove the brackets too?
Yeah. So, are you with me?
Yes.
No, that bracket, the one of the square bracket is missing. So as a tester, you have to be very, very careful, and you must have an eagle high. You know, if you are from the country I came from, the coat of arms have one bird. That eagle sees everything. And there's one thing they call EFCC, also has a bird that sees everything. So as a tester, you must be like that, that country's eagle that sees everything. Yeah, you can as well delete, the code we have in line 21. A quick one before you delete, tester, when you have double slash, what does that mean? I want to know if you guys are following. Double slash, what does double slash mean in coding?
Comment.
Comment.
Yeah, that means you don't need that particular thing. You just commented that you just block it so you can delete it.
The whole line or just the commenting?
Yeah, the whole line, everything. Now let's go into, testing. Now, still on don't forget we are still in, the hooks, which is the base test as a class. Now, do you mind to delete line 8? Good. So, can anybody tell me what we need to do now in line 8?
Create a web driver.
Yeah, you don't create, you need to declare your web driver. Okay. She has taught you all these things. Don't mind if I'm correcting you, we're all learning together. So what you do in your line 8 is that you want to declare your driver, I don't know, maybe you're a politician that you have to declare all your assets. So how do you declare the driver? Can you try?
Public
yes.
web driver.
Remember I said, if you're a politician, what do? You must declare all your properties, isn't it? How do you declare? You declare it publicly. So that is why you have your public. Good. driver. Oh, wow. So somebody might now ask me, before you ask me that, why do we have line 9? Public iWebDriver, what? Driver. So who can tell me what driver are we talking about here? Is it Uber driver or Bolt driver, or what kind of driver are we talking about here? Anybody?
Chrome
Anybody?
driver.
Pardon?
Chrome driver.
Are you sure it's Chrome driver?
Selenium.
Selenium driver.
Selenium.
My friend, is a Selenium driver. That iWebDriver is from Selenium. Don't forget. Selenium, we use Selenium to automate what? Web application. So the Selenium itself as a driver. Don't forget when we are, installing, from the beginning, if you could remember when we are installing the Nugget what package. If you remember my fried rice now, have you forgotten? Yeah. So you are telling that hybrid, is like Selenium. Okay, let me quickly explain what that iWebDriver. It's like it's like an interface that you use to communicate or to connect between Selenium WebDriver and your browser. Please understand the scenario again. The iWebDriver is like, is an interface, that you use it to create a connection between the Selenium WebDriver and the web browser in order to automate, probably your web application. I feel like repeating myself again. Probably somebody's writing. The iWebDriver, is an interface between the Selenium WebDriver and the web browser. The browser we're using is our Chrome driver in our Chrome, isn't it? Google Chrome. In order to automate our what? The website called the Mentors Kid. Let me explain this to my son. Daddy, what is iWebDriver? Well, I will tell him iWebDriver is just like the motorways or the express that Selenium, me, the dad, I'm the Selenium WebDriver. The name of my car is Selenium, so I'm the Selenium WebDriver. So the road itself, the expressway or the motorways, is like what it is. It's what wants to connect me, the driver, and my car to my destination. What is my destination? My destination is what? Is the web, which is the web application, isn't it? Mind you, I can only have access to Mentorskip via a browser, isn't it? So what will connect your driver, your car, to your destination is the road, isn't it? That means if there's no good road, you cannot drive your car, or your Uber driver cannot take you to where you are going. So the iWebDriver is like an interface. So the road is the iWebDriver that wants to connect me, the Selenium Uber driver or the Selenium WebDriver, and what? My destination, which is my what? My web browser. Why? Because I want to automate what? Mentorskid website. Do you enjoy that story? Or I should repeat myself again? All right. I will assume you guys are following. Okay. Now I have declared my driver. If you know you are confused, let me know. I've at least, laid this thing down in a very simple way for you guys to understand. So that is that. Line 7, we just line 9, we just declare our driver. Good. So what do we do again? There's what we call before scenario. What are those things that must take place before I can execute those test scripts in my future file? The given when there are those super stories are called test scripts. If I were you, I will write down that. I'll write that down again. Test scripts. What is test script? Good. So what are those scenarios? What are those things that will happen? So can somebody tell me what is going to happen in line 14? Are you sleeping? You guys should not sleep.
Sleeping, guys. I'm not sleeping.
Okay. If you know it is bored, let me know so that I can stop.
No, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Driver dot. I think we incorporate driver dot.
Okay, don't worry. Let me help you out. Let me first list out those things that must happen before your scenario. Then I will now explain. So your driver type driver equal to You don't need to cram this thing. Before you know anything, it will now become part and parcel of you. Driver equal to, mind you, we are using Chrome driver, isn't it? As our browser. New Chrome driver. Yeah. Don't forget you have, if you want to finish that, you just click on the tab on your laptop. If you are using original laptop, but if you are using Computer Village laptop, I don't know. So click enter. What again? Driver dot manage. Oh, maybe that was what you wanted to say. Driver dot manage. Immediately you are typing manage, it will probably more or less like give you an expo of what to do. Dot window. Now maximize. I know some people used to use wait. You can click on that. If you know the code, you continue. Okay, in case you want to add some other line of code in this place, you can add it. Some people used to add wait to it. Probably they want the browser to probably wait for some seconds, which I'm not interested in, to be honest with you. But let me quickly explain these two steps for you. Public, okay, remember I said somebody should go and know more about what method, isn't it? Line 13, you can see public void before scenario. Before you start asking me questions, what do you mean by public void? You go and learn that too. Now, what do you mean by method in C# or in Java? I see the same thing. Now, public there. Remember when you are declaring your driver in line 10, I use an example that, look, you are a politician, you must declare your asset. Before you want to go for any admission as a politician, you declare your asset, which is your driver. That is why you have it as public. That's public. You have in line 13, they are called modifier or access modifier. On the whole of line 13 to like 17 is method. So I don't want to drag this class too much. I'll not bombard you guys with too much things. So if I were you, I'll ask myself a question. What is a method? Yes, I'll ask myself what is a method. So by the time you go and make the research yourself, you now understand what we are doing in line 15 and 16. All right, brethren. What are we doing in line 15 and 16? That which is the before scenario. You're like, oh, don't forget our before scenario referring to your future file. There are certain things that must happen before those test script is being executed. That you want your driver to locate your what? Your Chrome driver. It's like, like I'm just using this as an example if I'm explaining to my child that, oh, driver, go and help me to meet Chrome driver. And where will you see that Chrome driver? Chrome driver has his family house known as what? The Google Chrome. Am I right? They are not following.
Yes, you are.
We are following.
Don't forget the fact that there are different browsers I have explained. There is Chrome driver, there is Firefox, there is Edge, which is the Internet Explorer. But the purpose of this project, we're dealing with what? The Chrome, isn't it? But that line 15, you are telling your driver to go and help you to locate, or it will launch. You're telling your Chrome driver that Chrome driver, Alpha, is this now? Help me to launch your what? Your browser. That is what that line 15 is doing. It is not only launching. What will happen in line 16? Line 16 is telling it that, okay, after you have located the Chrome, please help me to maximize your what? Your browser. Because by the time it opens the browser, it will be very small. Just like when you order for your Uber ride. When the Uber driver locates you, what is he expecting you to do? He's expecting you to open the door and enter, isn't it? So the same thing line 16, that, okay, instead of opening the door as the driver, help me to do what? Maximize my window. Do you understand that simple story I've just explained now?
Yes.
Look, let's do this as if we are preaching. You understand? You tell me right on. All right. So that is what line 15 and 16 is talking about. That okay, you're telling your driver, okay, as your Chrome driver, launch this. What's it called? Web, not the web application. Launch this browser. The difference between browser and the web application. The browser is that like what you are using to run your web application, which is a Chrome itself. So after launching that, then you also maximize. Do you understand? Then after maximizing, you can also use what we call wait. Telling it that before any other thing will happen, after maximizing itself, you need to wait before any other things or any other line of code or scenario will be executed. You can also use wait there. So let's try to, don't forget, if I were you, I'll also write it again. Types of wait. There are different types of wait. Go and learn more about those waits. There's implicit wait, explicit wait, go and learn about that. So, but you might be asked in your probably an interview question, as a tester, could you please explain the different type of waits? It's over to you. All right, so what do we do next? Oh,
we go to line 24.
All right.
And tell the driver to close after we've finished.
All right, so you can do that. So type that. So what you are trying to tell me in essence is that your line 24, after your browser must have, so let me just summarize everything. After your driver rather has launched, look at that scenario. You are telling your driver to launch your Chrome driver. It will maximize it. Excuse me. So after it has maximized it, that is your before scenario. That is when it's now going to execute your test script, your future, everything that you want to carry out in your future file. After those things has been performed, then you now come back to where your after scenario. So what will after scenario? You want your driver to do what? To quit those execution. Do you understand those analogy?
Yeah.
All right, so let's proceed. Another assignment. What's the difference between driver.quit and driver.close? Go and learn that. You can type it there, even in your line 24 or probably line 25. There's what we call driver.close. And you can comment that out. Please learn it. There's a difference between driver.quit and driver.close. So, all right. So, Temitope, what do we do next? Please don't get tired. Though. This one is interesting. We still have a long way to go. Well, as a matter of fact, we have just talked about our base test. So, what do we do next? Now, don't forget the fact that we've generated our step definition. Am I right? From our feature. And we have our, then let's go to the page object. So what do you do in your page object? You had a class.
Class, yeah.
Good. So what do you name the page object class?
Mentors kid.
Mentors kid. Mentors kid sign up.
Okay.
Page object. Your P from the page object have to be in the, yeah. Oh, here was close. All right. Good. Page object. If you are with your pen, please, I would like to explain some things that we do. Okay, in your page object, you can delete that internal and and label it as a public, since everything we delete is public. Public. All right, for the purpose of those that want to ask questions, wait, don't type anything. Please, if you are writing or in page object, there are 4 things that you need to do in page object. Just listen carefully. Page object, in your page object class, let me use it that way. There are 4 things that you need to do. As I will be using the technical word, I'll also be using the layman way to explain it. And don't forget the fact that I said my class is just like your royal mail letter, isn't it? Good. The first thing we do in our page object is that you declare your driver and your hooks. That's the first thing you do in your page object. You declare your driver and your hooks. And the second thing you do in your page object, sometimes you might, depending on how you write your, your feature file or your start definition, you might navigate to probably the Mentos Kit. You can write out the code for the URL in your page object. It depends. That one is optional, but however, in your page object, you instantiate your page object. That means you create. Oh, sorry. I'm making a mistake. This is page object, not step definition. Sorry. In your page, apologies, please. In your page object, you declare your driver, which is very important. Yeah, I said you carry out 4 things. You declare your driver. Don't forget how you declare your driver. That is the public iWeb driver. Then the second thing you do in your page object is that you assign the driver in your base test. Then the third thing we do in your page object is that we declare an object using the appropriate, the by clause and the locator. And the fourth one is that we write our test method. Sometimes somebody is like, why am I preaching all this? Let me paraphrase myself again. I said in my page object, we perform 4 things. 1, I declare my driver. 2, I assign a driver in the webhook or in the base test. Then the 3, I declare my object using the appropriate by clause, this by and the locator and the appropriate locator anyways. And 4, I also write out my test method. I don't want to get you guys confused, but we are going to do it, then you understand those 4 steps I'm talking about. So, Temitope, the first step I said is about declaring your driver. So declare my driver, the public iWeb driver. Let's go. Don't worry, this thing is interesting. Don't get confused. Yeah, public iWeb driver. Yo, wow. Okay. So what's the next thing I said? I said you assign the driver to the, what's it called? You assign the driver. So there are 2 ways of doing this. First of all, let's write a constructor. Let's write a constructor for this page. Do you know how to do a constructor? Let me teach you one expo. Just type CTOR. Type it CTOR, constructor. Then, wow. So you know Buku. All right, then that is a constructor. If I were you, I'm going to probably write it as part of those assignments I'm giving, that what is a constructor? But not a conductor, but a constructor. So there's a difference between a constructor and a method. All right, so driver equal to, here you declare driver equal to, here you declare your what's it called, your base test equal to base test dot driver. Remove that new, there's no new there, don't put new. So what we are doing now is that you are assigning the driver in the base test. So driver equal to base test dot driver. And don't forget your semicolon. Yeah. Sorry, move down to line 17 and click enter. Good. Sorry, a quick one. Try to hover over that base test. Don't worry. Let me see. Put your mouse on it. Let me see what is display. I'm not very not static. Oh, kindly go back to your base test.
Base test.
I'm talking about the OOPS public seal class base test. Let me see. Okay, that thing is complaining about line 10. Make that line 10. Declare that driver as static. Public, then you type static. Yep. Static space. Okay. So let's go back to our page object and see what is happening. The over. Oh, don't mind the automation. All right. Okay. Let's proceed. Yep. So we've just carried out. So we've just done two things now. One, I said we're going to declare our driver. Then we assign the driver in the web by right. How do we do that? We first of all write our constructor. Then you also do what? You assign the driver to the base test, which is line 16. And what is the third thing that we need to do? The third one is that we need to do what? We declare the object using the appropriate by clause and locator. So that means in this third one, we are going to use what? A locator. That means we are going to the test environment. Then we start writing our, I believe you know the different type of locators we have.
Yes.
So what do you use that locator for? So what are locators? Can anybody just try? What are locators?
Locators are used to find elements.
Yep, that's a very good answer. You use your locator to do what? To either locate or you find what elements in your web application. If you don't want to forget those, if you want to forget that definition, or if I want to explain to my son what locators is or what locators are, I would tell him that, look, locators are just like British police. You're like, how do I know that? What do they look for? They look for criminals, isn't it? So your locators is used to look for what? Elements. So the elements are what? Are criminals. Then he's going to ask me, how are they going to locate those criminals? I'm going to tell him, when you open your web page, you will not physically see those criminals. Isn't it true? I will tell you that, look, criminals are always hidden in what's it called? They hide themselves in corners, probably in some you see them probably on tar road, you see them hide themselves. You can't see they don't come out publicly. You understand? From the country I come from, those criminals you don't see them outside. You see them either under the bridge or some ungodly road, let's put it that way. The same thing what your locator does. Your locator is used to what? Is used to locate what? Elements in what? In web application. And where are those elements located? Those elements are, they are located in the developer's tools. They can be your HTML, your XML. Hope you are enjoying my story, right?
Yes.
Good. Don't forget the fact that as far as locators is concerned, remember I said locators are just like British police. There are different type of locators, which I believe must have been explained to you guys, and there are different type of police. There are CID, there are, in police case that there are different levels, and there is SARS from one country like that. I don't know the name of that country. Different department of police. But what do? They identify or they are to locate what? Criminal. What are those criminal? The elements. And where is the element present? Elements are present in web application. But can you see them physically? No. How do you locate those elements? What do? You inspect. Am I right?
Yes.
You can enjoy my story, isn't it? So the same way, which I believe you all know, but using that example now, somebody will never forget again. Why? Because your element, before you can get your element, you do what? You inspect. And as a matter of fact, what does a policeman do? They always look out for what? Suspects. Hope you're enjoying my story. So, Temitope, you know what to do, isn't it? Yeah, before you continue, I would rather advise you to go back to your future file, then you do it one after the other to your future. So let's start coding. Line number 9. Given I'm a user on this particular page. Okay. So what do?
You go to the home page, well, MentorSkid website.
Okay. Yeah, that's the URL, isn't it?
Yes.
So, if I were you, I would go to the step definition too. So that don't forget that line, that particular first line, I have the step definition in line 9, isn't it?
Yes.
Up to 13. So, apologies. So what am I going? Everybody have different method of doing this. Let me be honest with you, especially on that line 9. Because in my line 12, I might delete those code in line 12. And from there, I can probably, write my driver dot, probably navigate to that particular website. You can delete your line 12. So you can write driver dot navigate open and close bracket. No, don't worry, just
It's bringing driver command.
excuse me, dot. Okay. Just press navigate. Apologies, I have code. Navigate, then open and close brackets. I want to do one trick. Now go back and delete that command again. Remember, what I needed is just driver dot, isn't it? Then change that uppercase of D to lowercase. Yo, wow. Dot go to immediately you press that G, then just tap on your laptop. You see a button called tab. You click on that tab. That your go-to is very wrong. The T for the 2 is supposed to be in uppercase. Can you see that it's giving you expo? Exactly. When you click on that tab, it's going to tell you what to do. Then you put at. Then what's it called? So you know what to do. Then you paste the URL for that particular website there for the MentorSkid. Don't forget that I said everyone has different method of explaining this. In some instance, I might not write this code in line 13. I decided to put it in anywhere. I decided to put it in my page object. And I can as well, if I want to work as a tester, I might decided to declare that, write a string and name it as the URL instead of me writing all this code. But let's try at least. Let's do something. All right. That driver is dancing, isn't it? It has a red mark under it, isn't it? What is it telling us? Don't worry. Relax. Before we continue with our page object, let me tell you what you do in your step definition. You know why I like the step definition? It's very, very simple. In your step definition, please note this. We also declare our driver hooks in step definition. So that means we are going to do that in your line. Okay, go to line 9. Click enter. All right. So let me just explain step definition to you. What we are going to do in the step definition is that we are going to declare our driver and our hooks. Then secondly, we are going to instantiate the page object. Somebody is asking what's the meaning of that grammar? Instantiate the page object. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that from that word instantiate means, how will I even describe it? To instantiate. is a verb from the word, it means to when you want something to represent something. I know there are some grammarians as a tester. Somebody will be telling you that, for instance, from the word, for instance, to give an example, from that word, look at that word instantiate, that verb instantiate, to give an example of something. Do you understand? Jimmy, you have your hands up.
Yes. When Temitope was writing the code for base text,
Yes.
and it was public, instead of public static, because I understand that public, when we write public, we call in, I don't know how to say it now. We call in the method in so that it can see, every class can see the code. But
Yeah.
what's the difference between public static and just public? Because the static now is not allowing us to write the code for page objects.
No, to be honest, we are not. Yes, I'm going to answer your question. For the page object, don't forget the reason why it doesn't allow us. That was when we let it be a static, so that we will be able to see that public. Remember, I used the word public, that if you are a politician, if you are holding public offices, what do? You declare of your asset. And mind you, don't forget the fact that we are still dealing with what's it called? The base test that helps to bind the event binding. So there's a reason why we have to put it as static. Otherwise, we won't be able to make use of those driver. And don't forget, another thing is that based on what I've just explained in terms of instantiate, what we'll be doing for example, in step definition is, besides declaring your your driver, we still need to instantiate your page object. How will I explain that to a layman? Is that it's like calling or representing my page object in my step definition. The technical word to use that is that I create an instance of my page object. No, the page object has a class, don't forget. So it's like creating an instance of the page object class in my step definition. This thing used to get some people confused. Let me just use this. Let me think of what I can use to explain. It's like, okay, my page object has a class called mentors skid sign up page object. Everything they are, let me use that layman language, whatever they are doing in their family house, it's like calling them to come and inviting them into your world, into your step definition. Don't forget, your step definition has a folder, and it also has it has its own class, isn't it? It's like inviting one member of a family to another members of a family. That is why I was using that word, to instantiate, means to represent. So if you want to do that in terms of coding, there are different methods of doing that. But the simplest line of code we used to do, you can create an instance of a page object class. Sorry. Have you declared, okay, you've not declared that, I'm just trying to explain. So your step definition, so in your line 10, hello, line 10. So remember I said you are going to declare your driver as well as your word, as your base test or your hook. So declare your driver again. I'm trying to make this more simpler. Sometimes if I want to work on these, I can use this particular method called inheritance under OOP. That is apologies. Sorry, you've not done that. Declare your your driver.
This is where we put the page objects, and this I'm asking, I don't know.
Yes, but for the first to declare, yeah, that's why I said there are different methods of doing this, but just proceed from what I'm saying. You might not use static.
Okay.
Yeah, equal to speed equal to your base test dot driver. Yeah, semicolon. Good. Click enter. Yeah, line 11, in case I want to read, that's what we call refactoring. Somebody can also write that. In case I want to refactor that, I can as well in your line. I'm just trying to explain. Don't delete anything. I'm talking about refactoring. So you might just an assignment, you might search the meaning of refactoring. That line 11, remember I'm declaring both my driver and my base state and my hooks, isn't it? There's what we call inheritance, whereby I can link my base test. That means everything, or let me say every I don't want to use the word features. Let me use a layman to explain this. I want all those characteristics or features that you have in your base test to be replicated in your what? In your step definition. So sometimes in your line 9, I might decided to use what's it called, column, and just put base test. That means instead of me having don't forget that in your base test, you also have public iWeb driver, if you remember.
Yes.
They are not here.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of avoiding that tautology, I might decide to use, instead of me having that public iWeb driver, I can decide to just use that in that particular thing we call inheritance, that just bring your base test and use semicolon in front of the what's it called, line 9, and put base test. It will work. There are people using that method, it will work. I'm just trying to break this thing down. So your line 12 is where you now you create an instance of the page object class. So how do you do that? There are two methods you can use that. One, you can use your constructor, and you can also use this simple line of what's it called? Don't use your constructor. Let me just give you one simple line of code to do that. So if I were you, I will copy my my page object, that name that you use for your page object. So that exactly.
Paste.
Yeah, so space, then you can paste it again, then you change that M from no. That first M, make it a lowercase. Good. And if you like, you might put an underscore in front of it, equal to everything equal to our new mentor skill sign up page object. Instead of using that word page object, why not use the word page? Yeah, remove that object. Why using the word page? Use it as a page. Yeah, mentor skill sign up page is okay. Yeah. Remember, we are making some changes in terms of the name, so definitely you are going to do that in the page object class. Paste that one, that mentor skill sign up page. So delete the object there. Good. But don't forget to put your what we call your open and close bracket and your semicolon. Don't put driver, semicolon. So go back to your page object and rename it. That means you are going to remove those object, the word object. Remove that object. Yeah.
I rename it on the main folder.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Just remove the object. Yes. Remove the object there. Don't worry. Just remove the object. Good. Save. So go back to your step definition. Apologies if you are taking time. You guys need it. It's a sacrifice, to be honest.
Nice.
All right. Give it a space. I like my code to be neat. Enter. All right. So don't forget that you might have a question. What do we just did in line 12? What we did in line 12 is to create what? An instance of the page object class. So that's what we call that. You are creating an instance of the page object what? Class. So over on that mentor skill, clean and build. Mentor skill. Let me see if you're not making any mistake. Oh, it's reporting an error. Hold on. That the namespace mentor skill sign up page could not be found. Let's go back to that page object. In namespace mentor skill dot page object. Delete. Hold on. Okay, clean and build. Let's see what is going to happen.
Sorry, Olusegun.
I think.
Did you copy? Yeah, no, I was on another. Did you copy it and paste it?
I don't understand.
Did you copy that one? The line 14.
Line 14. Yeah, he copied that. He did that. That was what he used.
Why is the namespace? Is there supposed to be space between that mentor skill page objects? Let me check my best.
No.
Hold on. No, that's automation for you.
Wait to.
I think he didn't copy it from public class.
I didn't copy it from public class. I copied it from
that constructor line 14. No. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Sorry, let me be sure of where the error is coming from. Line 12 is copying of line 12.
Shagun, sorry. Shagun, the error is coming from the object that was removed, the name that was changed. That's mentor skill.
He's using iPhone.
Okay, the object. I was what I asked him to, so that we can give it in. Okay.
He's allowed.
Hey, Laulu from where? US. Where have you been?
I know the error is coming from that, but it's not supposed to stop it. But however, please return the object so that the something we know. It's just like you want to collect the. But I don't like using that. Just add the no. Just add the object to it so that it will Jogo see me. Yeah, continue to add object to it, but there's no way I'm still coming back to delete it, to be honest with you. Mentor skill sign up with object. Well. Yeah, paste it. Geez. Open and close bracket, then your semicolon. Then go back to what's it called? Yeah, exactly. So you give him his name back, just object. We are still going to delete that anyway, but I want to know why the error is just popping up. Then your public class Mentors Kit sign up page, put the object back so that, okay, let's see. Object. Any other please?
I think that's all.
Are you sure? Let's go back to, go back to the step definition. Over on it again, let me see. The namespace Mentors Kit. See, there's a bulb in front of that line 12. Let me see what happened to that bulb. Just click on that bulb. Yeah.
I think it was page objects.
Click on that using mentorskit.page object. Click on that.
This one?
Yes. Sorry, let me see your page object folder. So sorry, expand it very well. It's too small. No. I'm talking about your solution. Your solution explorer. The one on your right-hand side. Yeah. Scroll down. Come down. Okay. Page objects. All right. Let's continue with our 5G. Don't worry, we're going to solve that. Okay, so let's try to go back to our, what's it called? We're still on the page object, right? So let's try to carry out, write the
step definition.
Let's declare our object, using the by clause and the locators. I hope you can do that. Can you do that by going to the Mentors Kit website and you continue from sign up? Don't forget the first line says that when you click on this sign up, so inspect. I believe somebody can still remember, the examples I gave about our locators, that what locators are and their rules. Though it is left for you to go and know different type of locators. But you know what you do here, right?
Yes, copy the locator.
Hey.
Do I need to clean this off? Should I clean this off?
No. I don't ask you to come here. You're talking about, I'm referring to your page object. You do everything in your page object.
Okay. I'm lost here.
Okay, in your page object, can anybody help? This is something that Rita has taught you guys with.
The way I know it, you're going to private.
Yeah, you are going to write your private by, I've forgotten. And I said this is where you declare your objects. So what are those objects? Using the appropriate by clause. Example of an object is, the object is just like an element of a class. So the other one is sign up. You can just put sign up button. Sign up button. Button. Capital B. Capital B, button or BTN, whichever one you feel like is convenient. So equal to A. young man, remove that semicolon. Space equal to, then you use your what? Your locators. You use expert. Use expert. Go back to that URL. Yeah. Later I've explained shortcut method to you guys. Don't use expert. I have a reason for asking you to use expert, because if you should use that CSS selector, there's every tendency for that to be dynamic. Do you understand? What you've just did now is to do what? Is that you just declare your object. What is that object? I said that object is an element of a class. Remind you, everything we are looking at here is a class on its own. The object is that sign up button. Please take note. And so you are declaring that object, that sign up button, by using the word, the private by using that by clause. I use the word clause, which is English language, by what? And using the by clause and locator. So which locator are you using to get that sign up button, the element of the sign up button? You are using expert. If you want to remember this method again, remember how I use locators as what? I said the locator is like, as a police. So what does the police do?
Catch criminals.
So, which is the element, isn't it? So, and that police is the expert. And what is the object? The object is your what? The sign up what? Button. All right. So after you've done this, the next thing you need to do is the what? Create a space. Then you write out your test method. Create many space, about 5 lines. So depending on anybody teaching you, but I just like to do it so that you understand. It's okay like that. So the next step that you do is to write out your what? Your test method. Remember, I'm giving you guys an example. What's it called? A test that you guys should go and know what they call method. Anyway, let me just simply explain. Method is just like block of code that that you use to perform a specific action. So go and read more about method. So how do you write out your test method here? Public void, a public void. Remember, you can say you should be able to know what to write here now. User click or sign up button, just use any object. Uppercase, click uppercase. Click sign up. That S supposed to be uppercase, just like a word. You're writing it like a sentence. Click sign up button. Apologies if you are taking time. This is like 12 o'clock. As I've said, it's a matter of sacrifice. We can wait here to like 2 a.m. I'm ready for you guys. All right. Then you need to write your curly braces. In front of that, cancel that semicolon. Cancel the semicolon. Then you type your curly braces and click enter. Good. So what do you do here? Somebody should tell us what you do there. How do you perform that action?
Driver.find elements.
Yeah. So you tell your driver, go and help me to find that element. So let me just explain one story that you guys will not forget here. Your police is your locator, your expert. In this particular method, you are telling the police van or the police car, that driver, find the element. That means there are 2 types of police. There's another police that is scared of. Police have hierarchy now. The organs should be the one that will be front, but they will not tell their inspector, you go to the front, you go and find the element. So driver dot what? Find element. And what's the name of that element where you have your open and close bracket sign up button? Oga?
Expert.
No, driver dot find element.
Okay.
Your open and close bracket sign up button. Have you forgotten? So outside that. So what is the action that you perform? Not what? I'll just ask a question. What is the action that you need to perform? You click. Are you not clicking? You click on that button, on that sign up. If I were you, I would just click on my tab. So let me quickly, I don't know, maybe you guys are tired. Let me quickly explain what I just did here. On line 19, what did I do in line 19? I write a method. I declare an object using the appropriate words, the by clause and the locators. And what is the locator? I've used expert here. So what I did in line 25 is that I write a test method. What do we use method for? We use it to perform an act, I said method is like a block of code that signifies how you perform some specific action. What are those specific actions? Those action is what you have in your line 27. That, hey, driver, go and find that criminal called Element, whose name is what? Sign up button. And what do? You arrest. That is the action. You click. You shoot the criminal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. I've used a very simple things to explain it to. All right. So let's go. The same thing you do for every of those test scripts. Now we've done the one for click button. Then the next line, go to your feature file. We've just done line 10, isn't it?
Yes.
Then line what?
Line 11.
You do the same thing for line 11. As a matter of fact, I love doing things one after the other. Now I have done for page object. I'll now go back to my step definition. So it depends on any way you want to do it. Oh, sorry, we still have something, an error code in line 13, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, so what is happening there? I can't see it very well, to be honest.
Supposed to put new in front of mentor skid.
Put that new. God bless you, Mr. Hyphen, if I don't even know your name. Yo, wow. But the way I'm seeing your screen, sorry, there's this particular tab. I don't know what it's doing there. In between your text explorer and yes, I don't know what this tab is doing there. Nah, if I were you, so that I can see the screen very well. See, there's no way I will not cancel this page object. I don't like that object. It's not making the work look sweet. So what you need to do is that now there's no any error, right? Isn't it? So please save, clean, and build. Have you saved all, clean and build?
I clicked saved. Yeah.
Automation is very interesting, to be honest. Once you get the necessary steps, every other things are just repetition. It doesn't matter the number of hours we spent, but so I said I'm still going to work on certain things. I don't want you guys to be confused. I want to delete that object. I don't like it because if you have a folder called page object, how can we have a class too that will be carrying out even the name there you have there is mentor skill sign up page.cs, isn't it?
I edited it when you told me to remove the object.
Okay, so let's go back to our what's it called, to the page.
You mean the web page? Yeah.
No. That click on that page object, yes. Scroll up. How come you rename it mentor skill sign up page? And you did not put the object and you did not complain. Okay, your line 11. Let me remove the object again. It seems I don't know why I don't want to remove that object. The same thing with your 14. Good. So let's go back to where we've used the step where we've call or instantiate it. Remove everything, that object. It's okay. The next one to remove the object. Then the last one, remove the object. Good. Do we have any error? No. Good.
No.
I love it this way. All right, save. So, yeah, everyone, remember we just did something our page object. We what's it called? We just finished with the test method. So what I will now do, remember what I said concerning step definition. I said that we do something in step definition. One, it's like you calling your page object test method. Listen to my English language. You call your page object test method. What is your page object test method? It's what we have. You go to your page object. Go to your page object, please. Yeah. I'm referring to line 25. Line 25 is your test method. You can put your for the purpose so that you guys will remember your line 24. Yeah, comment it out, double slash, forward slash, the right test method, so that somebody will remember that, okay, that is what this thing is about. Yeah, test, or you can write out test method. Test, don't write it together now. This is just explanation. Space those English language. All right, good, so that you will remember. So what we are going to do now, just hold on. What we are going to do now is that in our step definition, we are going to call this page object test method, this your line 26, into our step definition. It is like, if I'm to explain to my son, I will tell him that means we want to invite what's it called, Temitope from his family member into our family so that we can get together. So that is what we do in your step definition. So go back to step definition. So the question is, how do we do that in step definition? It's very simple. Your line 24, don't forget your line 21 is talking about when I click on the sign up button, which was the same thing that we your line 23 rather, delete it. So let me use another layman language to explain again. Remember, the action we took in the page object was to do what? To click on the sign up button. So that means Temitope is probably Christmas. So I'm also inviting him to my own house so that we can do what? We can also enjoy Christmas together. So Temitope is the page object, while I am the step definition. So I'm now calling him and the family member to join us to celebrate the same festive. So what I will now do here is that, remember, don't forget that in our step definition, we have done something. We have instantiated our page object, line 13. Hope somebody can remember that. Remember line 13, we have created an instance of the page object here. So now we are now calling our test method of page object inside your step definition. So it is time for Temitope to come and celebrate Christmas with me. So how do I do that? Then the lower case, which is the mentor skill sign up page, that's what you are going to write. The lower case. Yeah, immediately you click on that, then dot. Remember what happened in our test method? Do you remember what we did in our test method? Sign up button. Sign up button. If you know you are confused, tell me. Open and close bracket. That click sign up button is what you have in your page object test method. Semicolon, please. Go back to your test method in your page object. So you don't need to cram this. Can you see it now? That is your line 25. What you have in your line 25, that is the object there, the click sign up page object is Temitope's name and his family. So we are inviting them to come and celebrate Christmas in our what? In our home, which is what? The step definition. Do you understand? Or it's boring? If not, it's boring, let me know.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I can stay here till daybreak. Oh. So let's continue. So that is what we'll be doing in every of those steps in the step definition. So, Temitope, now let's go back to our features. What's the next thing after you have clicked on the sign up button? What line of code are we executing?
Enter my first name.
Before you do that, let's clean and build and let's run this test if that thing is going to is going to perform. Have you done that?
Yes.
Yeah, under your test, Explorer. Hope you know how to run the test.
Yes.
So you can
You want me to run it?
Yes. But I could have asked you to even debug instead of running, but notwithstanding, just continue. It's about letting people to see what is going to happen. So your before scenario, this is what happened. Your before scenario, it has launched, it has maximized. Can you see that it has launched the URL? Then is it going to click? Yes, it has clicked. Hope you can see it, guys.
Yes.
If you like, don't answer. Anyway, I've asked this guy. You can see what really happened there, isn't it? Can you see that it click on that sign up button? Then it was able to open that page. So let's continue. Yeah, what's the next thing that we needed to do now? Is about
that first name.
Enter first name. Enter first name. So continue. So you go and use your British police to go and inspect. Hope you know what to do, right? That method is very simple. I'm not. Yeah. So the next thing is this one. So you inspect that feed. You guys like Selector Hub. Do you know how to use this method that you are using? Yeah. Then go back to that input. No. I don't want you to use Selector Hub. You guys are using Shua method. That one highlighted up. You can see up.
Okay,
yes.
This one.
Yes. Right click. Then you know what you do? You have that copy. You can see that copy. Copy element. That's not the element you want to arrest. You are not doing the right thing.
I copied this part. Okay, copy element.
No. Copy. Okay, you want to use expert, so copy expert. I'm just trying to explain, but since you understand.
Okay, no.
Don't copy element. I'm just trying to explain the step, but it's the same thing anyway. Copy expert. If you want to copy selector, you use CSS selector. Anyways, then press Ctrl F. Yeah, then you paste it. Oh my goodness. Don't go there. As a matter of fact, don't forget the fact that there are different about 8 types of locators. You have expert ID by name, by class name, by link text, and the likes. But Rita has made the thing more simpler for you guys by using selector. So you can let's continue with the selector to make our work easier. You can also use expert or CSS, anyone you like.
Should I proceed with the one I copied or just
use this one? Use this one.
The one I already copied.
No, don't use it. This one is too long.
Okay.
But however, if I were you, excuse me, even on the DOM, on the developer tools there, you can see something like name, registration. I don't know, maybe you understand what those ones highlighted in yellow color, excuse me. Remember, there are different type of locators. I can find about 2 locators here. If you are using name is the locator. There's another one called class. I can use name, I can use class. Sorry. I'm just explaining to you guys. Remember, there are different type of locators. So even on the screen, I can find 2 locators on that DOM, on that developers tools. There is name and there is class. Hope you can see that.
Yes.
So if I use name, why not? If I use class, if I scroll down on that your selector hub, you will see it there.
You mean year or on the element?
On that selector hub where you had scroll down, you can see, okay, you can see name. That's one of the locators, that name. And what's the other one I said?
Class.
You cannot use class because it appears in 4 times there. Remember, don't forget we are only doing 1 of 1. So use your selector, CSS selector, or expert, whichever one you want to use. Don't go there. Use your selector hub since you are used to selector hub.
I'm using the selector.
Copy
I'm using
one.
I use the selector.
Okay. Copy the expert and go and put it in your Visual Studio. Let's be fast. Jimmy, you want to ask a question?
Yes, please.
Line 20. Proceed.
I don't know. While I was doing my self development,
yes,
I used expert. Okay. But my question is, what's the difference between relative experts and I've forgotten the name now. Maybe when Temitope is going to the expert, maybe I can show you.
The difference between relative experts and what's it called? Expert itself.
Index experts. I think it's index experts.
To be honest, as far as I know automation to be concerned, I've never used that index of it because it's not part of the British police. I know it's not part of locators. One.
Okay, because
don't forget the fact. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, because I used experts, it didn't go through. I used selector, it didn't go through. Till I used the index expert before it went through. So I was not confused what's the difference between the expert and the index expert.
One thing I notice is that there are times you use that relative, I don't know, maybe it's relative or index expert you talk about now. For automation, it will work. But sometimes when you look at that relative expert, it usually starts with HTML. And when you look at the different type of locators, it's not a type of locator that's supposed to use. However, one thing I've noticed from experience is that there are some codes that if you are to use your expert, you also see it in your relative expert. From what you said, there's every tendency that when you are working with some automation, hope you're listening carefully, those elements might be dynamic. How do I mean? A quick one. Quickly go to what's it called? Go to the web application. Do you notice something here that when you are using, just hold on, Temitope. Remember when we were inspecting that sign up, I asked you not to use the CSS selector. If you notice that, let's quickly answer Jimmy's question. Temitope, am I right? Please go back to that MentorSkid main page, home page. I want to explain that, what you just, the main page. Yeah. Inspect that sign up. But you just asked a very sensitive question. Guys, open that your, what's it called, selector, whatever. Selector hub. What do you notice? There's an alert, isn't it? There's a warning sign there telling you that that element is not interactable through what? Selenium automation. As it is not visible in the what? In the user interface. Let me just explain this to my son or to a layman. He's telling me that that element, that criminal is very, very notorious. He is Sunday Igboho, very, very notorious in action that, hey, It's an hardened criminal. You cannot find it. It is not interactable using Selenium, because Selenium is the British police that want to, look at this hardened criminal. And what are those features of those hardened criminals? They might be dynamic. You know the meaning of dynamic? Just like chameleon, you need to change color. When you look at that CSS selector, don't click, you can see a number there, 2699. Tomorrow, you might check it later, that number will change to 2631. You know the meaning of dynamic. Something is dynamic, changing, just like chameleon. You can see how I'm using that layman language to explain. Because the thing I asked you to use was I said you use experts. So it is important that as a tester, you must understand the various type of words of locators. When you look at that DOM also on that page, you will see something like when you use that, you can look at that tag A. Use your mouse, move upward in the DOM. Yes, move up a little bit. No, move up. That place that is highlighted in gray. No. Let me talk about what are you doing? Yes. If you see something like http blah 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 mentorskill.com.signup element, to be honest, the element is not there. That is why it is telling us that it is what? It is not interactable. Do you understand what I'm saying? Compared to where you will have the element, probably you can use locator like a class, you can have your name, tag name, but this one is having like a URL in the developer tools. Sometimes this is where that index experts, Jumi, look at that real expert and index expert. They somehow look alike, isn't it?
Yeah.
The difference between them is that one has open and close bracket and it has one. I don't want to go into deep about this so that you guys will not get confused. There's what we call some dynamic elements, and there's what we call customizing your locators. There's a way you can customize it. For example, your expert. By the time you get to advanced, you understand that. So in order not to cause this kind of question, that's why I'm asking not to use the CSS. Because if you use the CSS today, it might click, tomorrow it might fail. That's why I asked him to use that expert here. Right? All right. So let's continue. Hope somebody's learning one or two things here, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Don't forget that I'm using my layman language. I said it's not every criminal that police can catch, isn't it? I've used an example of adding criminal like what? Like what? What did I use as an example? So let's enjoy this so that you will not forget. All right.
But sorry, excuse me. But which would you always say is always the best to use?
Provided those elements, provided that, let me use the layman, like provided the police officer can catch the criminal. Any police can catch a criminal. But there are some stubborn criminal or elements that you need to customize. You need to use higher DPU to address the criminal. That is why I'm talking about customization, where you need to customize your locators. That you have to use your Gapalapata locator. If you want to arrest a hardened criminal, or there's a saying that if you want to arrest a monkey, you behave like what?
Okay.
So let me use another scenario again. That means a police in police uniform might not arrest some criminal except they behave like Nigerian SARS. And the characteristics that they don't wear uniform, isn't it?
Yeah.
This thing is being recorded, so let me be mindful of what I say. Hope you understand. Is it not interesting?
Yes.
So just to add to what Olusegun is saying. So I think I did talk about you guys checking out the types of locators. So when you are also trying to find your locator, depending on what you are working on, in terms of if you are using first name, if you are trying to get find an element for a first name for a test fit, something like that. So those are the times where you have to use ID, class name. So it depends on what you are working on. That will warrant you to use some certain locators. So however, if they are not interactable, you might have to now customize. So most times we use expert CSS depending on what we are working on. Those are like the two most common ones anyway. So there's nothing like which one is best or which one is not. depending on what you're working on. But expert seems to be the one that you think, oh, it's quicker, or what word will I use, depending.
Like reliable.
Exactly. So, but like what Olusegun said, be mindful. There are dynamic elements, like what Jimmy said. It worked now. Dynamic locators. It worked now. Well, by the time you run that text again, that script again, it will not pass. That's because that element is dynamic. It's changing. So Arod will be taking you guys on different types of locators next week. So that might also help. Well done, Olusegun, for the well-detailed explanation.
All right. So let's continue with our journey. What we just did now, when you are traveling, there's what we call checkpoints. So Rita is the policeman that stopped at the checkpoint. So they've checked everything they want to check, and we've wiped them. So why not continue with the journey? So
I will soon leave you here.
I'll take it. No, it is good to take time. That's why I don't mind. Though I've not eaten, but I don't mind. Let's continue. So we've entered the first name. Oh, good. Why not write out the test method for the, for that object? Yeah, continue. Don't forget the public void is very interesting. Public void, you can say enter first name. Apologies if I'm taking too much time. You understand? But at least you guys need it, to be honest with you.
You shouldn't apologize. We should thank you. We should thank you because you spend your time. So we should thank you for your effort. We should thank you for your effort, not you apologizing. Thank you for your effort in taking us.
It's been an interesting class.
Mr. Uber driver, you need to find something now. It's an instruction. Driver, find element. What's the name of that element? And in fact, you don't.
But this one, is it click or just enter?
Can I ask you a question? Are you clicking? You are not clicking. Are you? You can see that it's not bringing out the syntax for enter. So what exactly are you doing? You are sending a key. You are sending keys. Dot send keys.
Can I ask for a favor, please?
Yes, you can go and sleep. It's a favor. Open and close.
Yeah. You wish.
Yeah. Okay. Ask your question before I proceed here.
I think I've asked this previously if Rita can show us. So I know you're for entering first name or last name, if you wanted to do it randomly, would you be able to explain that?
Yes.
I want it to randomly generate like
Yes.
a first name.
Yeah. I can do that, but that would be too advanced for this class. And if you could remember vividly, I gave you guys an example. I asked you guys to go and learn more on the difference between scenario and scenario outlines, and also go and learn more on parameterization. And to be honest with you, it's just the answer to the question you just asked, whereby instead of me using that first name, Temitope, I should be able to use random names thereabout, you understand? For example, in scenario outlines, I should be able to have 3, 4, as many examples as that I'll be able to, run the test using different names. You understand? So that is why I'm giving that as an assignment, that go and know the difference between and how to use difference between scenario and scenario outline, or rather go and learn more about how to use scenario outline. Then you understand it better. And also in terms of probably random generation of names and the likes, yeah, it might be Temitope 1, Temitope 15, you understand that kind of thing. Those are just random names. Let me put it that way. So, yeah, Temitope, something is happening in that your send keys. That send keys is dancing. What do you think is going to happen? Yes, the answer is there. Immediately you just put it, it's telling you that there's an answer there. Anybody that wants to help, let's make it interactive.
You've not told you what to send.
Yeah. So that means there must be a string. So go back to your line 38. Just put string.
Double quotes.
Line 38 inside that open and close bracket. Line 38. Line 30, sorry, apologies. I'm seeing vision now. Line 30 rather. No. Line 30. No. I know what you want to do. You want to use line 30. Line 30.
No.
Inside the open and close bracket, just type string. Space. Then space. Let me talk about. Apologies. After that string, rather, space. Then no. Remove that first name. Put PO.
PO.
Yeah, P the O.
In capital or
not O, 0. P0 rather. No. Sorry. Lowercase p. P-O, not P0. Lowercase p then O. Uppercase O. Close. Let me quickly explain this line 30. Then in that your send keys, put the PU inside. Yeah. You are declaring a string which is supposed to be like a name. You understand? So let's go back. Let me just quick so that you guys will not get confused here. I'm not saying that. Let's go back to your your feature 5. Let's start from there. What do you notice in that line 11? You have your first name to be what? Temitope. Is in quotes, isn't it?
Yes.
Go to your step definition. Can you see your line 27 that it has identified it? Can you see that string? And it has put that name Temitope, isn't it, as a parameter? I'm right now. So that means by the time it's running that code, automatically what is going to happen is going to use that name Temitope will be what will be appearing on your words on that particular feed. So to avoid tautology, I'm getting it now. So that is why in my page object, I'm not putting that Temitope there again, or probably in case you want to put that, go back to your page object. Your page object. Yeah. So that is why in line 30, remember initially that send keys was dancing, it was showing a red sign. So sometimes some people might, like in line 30, instead of putting that PO, they might just decided to put that quote. They put the quote and put your, what's it called, your parameters there. But to avoid that, that's why I decided to do it this way. So that by the time you run the test, it will just display what? Temitope. Do you understand?
Yes.
Why not run it? Clean build, then run it. So let's see if it's going to display Temitope or it's going to display PO.
Sorry, please. What does P? What is there a full meaning of PO? It's just PO.
It's just PO, just like a parameter, empty parameter. Let me put it that way. It's not police officer. So this one as a tester. Okay, you've run it, right? Is it running?
Yes, it is.
Wait,
no,
I've not seen any sign of it running. And you said yes. Supposed to arrest you. All right. So anyway, it is so fast that you might not quickly see it. Hope they've explained to you guys how to. Why is he even doing this science? Anyway, I'm not done with what I'm doing. Have you? Let's debug. Let's debug. Hope you know how to debug.
No, I don't.
Let me not wait. Don't press anything. Go to your feature file.
Olusegun, why do you want to debug? What happened? Did you run it?
I just want to explain to them so that that first name is going to appear on the feed, so that not look as if I'm doing film trick. Yeah.
As they've not done debugging.
Okay.
So if you want to confuse them more,
no,
you can try. They might get it.
Okay, go to your feature file. Let's start from there. Your line 12. That line 12. Before that line 12, in between, I will even describe it now that you will not even get confused. That line that serves as a border between your line 12 and that one that I asked you to minimize.
This one?
No.
This one?
You see that semi border? Oh, that exactly. Click on it. Click on the head. Those are the custom officer. That is the debug sign. Oh, somebody's learning one or two things, isn't it? So if Mr. Deji asks you to explain, don't use all this layman language I'm using, though, that in a semi-border. There's nothing like semi-border in technical world, though. All right. So right click. Hey, Mr. You like not there, move away from there. Yeah, the name of that thing is breakpoint. Yeah. Under your test, if you want to run your test, go to where you run your test as if you want to run the test. Yes, right click, then you see debug, click on debug. So whenever you want to debug, you use a breakpoint. So your breakpoint is your custom officer at your semi-border. Oh, somebody's not writing that too. Okay. Okay. Do you know what you're going to do? Stop it. Wait. Look up.
Look where?
No. Look. John on it. Go to what's it called? At your footer where you have Windows app, there's a sign button that looks like if you want to stop your DVD. No, up. Good. There's this red button. Come down. There's a red button that looks like stop. Yes. That means you have all those old school radios.
Press stop it.
Yes. That means you have those old school DVD. Go to your feature file. No, your base test. Where you have driver.quit, comment it out. I hope I'm not taking your time. Comment it out. Good. Save it. Save all. All right. So debug again. Yeah, right click, debug. Yeah, the driver is launching the browser. Go back to that debug. Go back to, oh, yeah. Can you see that it has passed? How will I describe this thing to you guys that you understand? Look at your footer. Your footer, where you have Temitope, then you can see the value as Temitope, then it's now putting it as a string. See, don't let me confuse you guys with yes, that's right. Don't let me confuse you guys with this debugging of a thing. So please go back to, you can stop it. Oh, Temitope, your browser is like, it has opened like two Chrome driver. Not that one. Look at your taskbar. You see that your Chrome driver has opened in two different places. Not even on the screen.
Oh, yes.
Yes, click on the last one. Click on the second to the last one.
Done.
No, it's supposed to show that name there. Okay, let's close it. Close it. It's supposed to show that name. Spring. Oh, apologies. It will not show because we are not done. Line 29. We have not done line 29. Sorry. Do you know what to do in line 29?
Yes.
Proceed. Don't forget line 29. When I'm inviting you for Christmas party, hope you remember. Hey. Line 29. If I were you, I will copy what I have in line 23. I said, I'm inviting you for Christmas. No. Don't copy everything. I said, I will just don't forget the method I explained now. That I'm inviting you. Are you not the page object?
Okay. Yes.
So you are the, I've told you that you call your page object, test method into your step definition. And so enter first name. What is that first name?
Temitope.
Exactly. So you type it Temitope there.
With parameterize or no?
No, the same Temitope you have with that. Yeah, your parameter not uppercase. The Temitope you have is in small. Isn't it? Do you understand? Now
Yes.
try to debug again so that I will explain what I was saying to you guys. You can either do it here or you do it in your page object, whichever method is still okay. Just hold on, let it run. Can you see that it has displayed that Temitope? Oh, even if it is in lowercase, but however, it has displayed it. Go to that browser, open it. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
So that's the essence of the work. Just to show you guys that what you are
can
doing
see.
is right. Do you understand? All
Yes.
right. So continue with the last name and the email address and the password so that I watch. So that means you need to stop the debugging. Stop the debugging. That is a breakpoint. Okay. So continue under your page object. So what do? You start from line 21 for the last name. Line 21. Have you forgotten?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. It might take time, but it's really worth it. Last name. Okay. To be honest, to avoid confusion, are you with me, Temitope?
Yes.
Go back to that page object. Remember in your line 20, you said enter first name, isn't it?
Yes.
In your line 30, you are writing enter first name too, isn't it? To avoid confusion. In your line 30, where you have enter first name, why
Yes.
don't just put it as user enter, put user at the big so that there will not be confusion.
For last name. Or should I change it for last name or for first name?
I want you to start changing it from the first. I don't want confusion. Your line 30, just go to line 30. Don't worry, don't click that one. Or better still, change it from line 20. Leave that one. Line 20, remove that enter. Remove that enter. Remove that enter. Then that name, put it as uppercase. First name. Good. So do the same. They do the same in what's it called? In line 32. Remove that enter. Yeah. Do the same correction. Then yeah. So proceed. So for the next one, instead of that enter last name, use last name so that there will not be confusion.
Do I need to change it on the step definition on the feature file?
You've not done that. Continue. You've not inspected that. No, you're not changing it from the feature. You don't have anything to do with feature file. I have a message.
Go to step definition.
Yeah. So you do that. Oh, people are not sleeping.
Oh. Yeah, wake up.
Don't worry, this thing is very simple.
Remember we changed the first name. We changed the name on the page object to first name. Do we need to change it here as well?
Don't forget that. No, don't get yourself confused. Have you forgotten what I said? I said you call in your test method, not object. What we changed was the object, not the test method. If you are confused, tell me so that I'll refer you back.
I think I get it.
The enter first name is your page, what's your test method. That is your family name. I told you are going to call every members of your families to come and celebrate Christmas with me. Is that not what I said? So what is your test? And I said you're calling your test method is step definition. So that one is test method. The other one that asks you to correct is just your, what's it called, your object.
Okay.
So you can see that it's interesting now.
I hope everyone is still awake.
Yeah, wake up.
Put your hands up, put your hands up on the chat. Otherwise, I will end the call.
No, wake up.
Yeah, I want to see hands up. Otherwise, I'll end the call. And I mean it. Because he cannot be doing this and you people will be relying on video.
If you are awake, shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I can only see 6 hands. The 7.
Hallelujah.
I mean it, guys. I'm going to end the call. Because somebody cannot be sacrificing and you guys are not there.
Yeah, guys.
Because I literally came back from work and I'm still here. I've not moved. So
Rita, if you're claiming, what about me that?
No, wait now.
From work to church, from church, in fact, I have skipped my dinner because of you guys. You guys will pay.
Even me, I've not eaten. So it's
Ghana is
only
coming from.
it's only 6 people that is responding. Wait a minute, wait. 7. Yeah, from the KG, Umi, Kwazim, Samuel, and Taiwo. Because we only have 18 people on the call. Right? It's not nice because everyone is just they're just relying on the video.
And then, anyway, it's a different thing to even rely on video. The difference to you have that time to sit down and understand the more than 3 hours video that we.
That's where they don't get it. That's where they don't get it.
Because if you get to a stage when watching the video, you just get pissed off because I'm taking my time to explain. It's not a short video, so it's a very lengthy one.
Okay.
It is well.
I don't know.
So Temitope, what do you do in line 41?
So we need to go back to the page object to
Yeah. Okay. Why not do that? Why not?
And after this video, I don't want to hear, I don't still understand. Davis, you will say I didn't call your name. I've called your name. Is Davis' hand even up? Davis? Davis is asleep.
He's in the hospital.
Why?
I
What
can't be
happened?
asleep when I have to record this thing, download it, and send to everybody. I'm awake.
You had better be. So everybody needs to. Why did you say it's in the hospital? Who said that?
He sent it in the chat that he's in the hospital that he can't talk.
Okay, sorry then. Okay. All right.
Temitope, I'm going to cane you. Your last name, that name, N, supposed to start with an uppercase. Please be mindful of the naming, yes. So
you now want to cane him.
You correct that in line 37, please. Be mindful of that name. Let me use this thing to tell you guys, everything we are doing, this is what we do at work, please. So you guys will just relax. No heat. Don't cram anything. Understand the principles. Understand those, those British police have used, and those series of examples. You definitely understand it. There's no way that if you understand every of those layman language I've used so far, you understand this thing better.
They must understand it too. I don't want to hear any complaint because Olusegun has gone really low level for you guys, so there shouldn't be any complaint afterwards.
And one thing about automation is that there are some actions that you need in automation, which I believe is in this particular website that we're doing so far. In terms of clicking and sending keys, every other one I just like additives, no need to relax yourself. And I'm going to use this opportunity to tell you guys, in case you probably at your own leisure time, you want to automate some, web application, be mindful of the kind of website that you visit that you want to automate. Because sometimes those websites might pop up some things that is not possible for you to automate. Let me give you an example. A website might just pop up something like a puzzle. There's some website that if you want to probably automate like login page or sign up, they'll just ask you to probably solve a puzzle that click on certain things that are common. You cannot automate those ones, to be honest with you. Some cases, yeah, absolutely. So, however, you can take your time, go online, try to, what's it called? Search for some dummy websites that you can use to learn automation. There are a lot of dummy websites, a lot. And if you need some, I can as well get you guys some dummy website. You can use it to practice. Yo, wow. What happened to that email? Something is missing. Which page is this?
This is the step definition.
Okay, step definition is like, okay, the email address, no, remove that string. You put PO. Let me be sure. What did you type? Is it PO that you type or P0?
PO.
Put P0 way to this man. Yeah. What did you type now? Is it P0?
P0, yes.
So definitely all those ones are supposed to be P0 then. The previous one that we did that we put P was supposed to be P0.
I think it's
Leave it.
same thing.
Oh. So you've done the one for email address. So which other one? So be careful when you hand because you've not inspected it. How come that code is telling you that it is password?
I do not understand.
Paste your code.
Should I proceed?
Paste your code now. Are you scared of
Okay,
pasting?
no, I thought you were calling my attention.
No. In fact, you can use ID instead of expert. Even from the screen, you can see the ID is 2-password input. Don't use expert, use ID. Let's use another locator so that you don't look as if you are using expert. Use your ID, copy. So go back to your Visual Studio. Instead of expert, use ID. That will not look as if, why are we using expert all the time? As the locator. Let other police officer be able to locate the elements. Are you not happy? Yep. Public void. Just click on your tab twice. Sorry, where you have that O, change it to P0. All those O supposed to be P0. Yeah. Those parameters. Yeah. I think the reason why we have it as that is that there are some parameters that might be alphanumeric.
Okay.
You understand? For example, your password it might be alphanumeric. You might say your password should be Adekulaye 345. It has both letters and numbers. Don't mind me if I'm using some funny names.
No, that makes it even fun.
But there's something I don't understand though. Excuse me. So people are still raising up their hands. You have question on what is the order because we start giving you guys punishment. Okay, let's go. Mental skill. Wow, you can see that you are getting faster and then it's even bringing out a suggestion. If it were Visual Studio 2019, it will not give you such suggestion. You'll be the one to do it yourself. So, and I click on the what?
Radio button.
Yeah. So, what did you inspect? What? Okay. Private bar.
In this case, should I just put radio button or click on radio button?
You can just put radio button mentor. There are two radio buttons. There's one for mentor, there's one for mentee. You can
just put mentor radio button. Makes sense.
Or you can put mentor radio. It is you that understand that your radio, your heart is starting from uppercase, young man. Yeah, you can do that one. If you like it, yeah, continue. You not inspect.
I want to.
How do you know you want to use ID? Something you've not inspected. Oh. Anyway. There's no point doing this. The reason is because where you know it is one of one is that even at the back of that code, you can see one appearing there. That's the time it is one of one.
Okay.
But if you are not using selector hub, it is important you type Control F, then you paste for it if it is one of one. Ah. Yeah. Young man. Okay, continue. Then I will correct you on one thing.
Okay.
Where do you use string?
Oh. For sending keys.
Good. So it is good to learn. Sometimes when you made a mistake, nobody was going to criticize you, but you learn from the mistake. And it's very, very good in automation. Yeah. Password again. Are you confused? Somebody should correct him. Someone correct Temitope in line 55. No, they are sleeping. Hey.
The password.
That's the password. That's radio button. Just put radio. What did you put? Was it the radio button button?
I think it's the capital letter that I put.
Temitope, go to your object.
Go back up to where you.
Exactly, go up. So what do you use there? Mentor, radio. No worry. Remove everything. Immediately you click on M, the radio, to give you the option. Can you see it?
Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
The next one.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Olusegun. Thank you, sir.
Why are you thanking me? You know, there's something about when you're teaching someone, invariably.
I'm using sir for you. You are happy. I'm telling you, thank you, sir. You are telling me why. Who is thanking you? Thank you for what?
Well, see, peradventure you are a politician, it could have been more difficult to relate with you, honestly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. If Doctor is telling you thank you, sir, so I'm also telling you thank you, sir.
If Mr. Deji will not accept that, so I personally will not accept that. Thank you.
I know. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
No, don't use sir. I'm also learning you.
Nathan, we are all saying thank you, sir, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
We are all saying you thank you, sir. Everybody tell Olusegun thank you, sir.
Not accepted. So Temitope, what do you do next?
Can you close the output, please, so that we'll see the full screen? I know you don't like that.
Yeah. You can delete the Outlook. You can delete that. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you like seeing the full screen, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Please and please, still remember, I've given you guys some things that you needed to. Temitope, please, that line 7, delete that at tag 1. I don't like that thing, though. Yep.
Let's click on it.
I've asked you guys to go and learn more on the difference between scenario and scenario outline, how to use parameterization, and I could remember vividly I've explained what you mean by method. Yeah, go and read more on method, read more on constructors, read more on I learned that this guy will be taking you guys on the locators. If I were you, I would have studied ahead before the class. Go and learn more about the different locators. As a matter of fact, Temitope, those ones are too much. Just put what's it called? Times and C, so that you understand the meaning of that. Times and condition. Use times and condi is okay. Times and con. And your and should be in uppercase. Times and condition or con is okay. Let your C be in uppercase so that you be the one to understand that, oh, this is what I'm talking about. C con, then you can put condition, then DTN. Just shorten it, not fully condition. So from there you understand means terms and condition. Nobody is going to crucify that. Instead of you deleting that developers tools, I would just advise you can use your mouse. This man.
I thought you were talking to me.
Yes, go back to yes. Instead of you deleting it, you can use what happened?
And which
I know you want to inspect that checkbox for the terms and conditions, isn't it?
Yes.
Put your mouse there. No, don't inspect. Don't inspect. Just put your mouse there. Don't inspect. Move away from all those. And now to click on it too.
Okay.
Do you know what you're going to do? Go up under the developers to where you have that element console. You see something that looks like an arrow. No. Hey, go to the left-hand side, not that one. No, left-hand side, the beginning. Yes, that arrow, click on it. Can you see what is this? Do you see what is written there? So click, yeah, put it under that checkbox, the radio button, yeah, that check, exactly. Click on it. So you can now use your selector hub to find it. I'm just teaching you another expo now.
Thank you.
Yeah, instead of you deleting, going back, no. Don't worry, don't type me. I'm going to collect money for that one.
Yeah.
Click void. You can write click terms and conditions here. This is where you can write the whole method, the full sentence thereabout. Click terms and conditions. Don't copy the whole thing now.
Okay. Click on the check.
This is your own QA tester. Click on. You don't need to write too much grammar. Click on terms and conditions. Terms and conditions. Button. The button you can boost BTN as button. It's very simple. At least you can understand it. BTN instead of putting the whole button. Yeah, click on terms and conditions button, then put your open and close brackets, your curly braces. Then what did you do? You ask your driver to go and find that what's it called? Criminal called before I was using Uber driver to explain it. Now I'm using what's it called? British police, right? No worry. Maybe next set of people I'll use another thing entirely. Okay, let's go. We are almost through. Join us, but you can just put join us. Join us uppercase U. Join us BTN or join us alone. Hope you understand, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. That is automation. Sorry, Rita, are you there? Oh, she's not there. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah, there's something about, this automation in terms of using SpecFlow. I so much enjoy it, probably because, the way you use SpecFlow, everybody can understand it.
Yes.
sometimes I've watched, series of videos from people from my country in the other parts of the world, the India, some videos that they explain some tests. Instead of using the BDD, they use not even TDD. You just get confused.
Yeah.
There's some line of code
the ones on YouTube, it's not like they don't write it the way we write it, to be honest.
Yeah, but there are some people now that are now using the BDD and using the SpecFlow. There are some people that have now started adopting the method. There are some that you just get confused. The same thing, this particular thing that we're doing, only the difference that they will not have the feature file, but they are trying to run the same sign up, then you just get confused.
Yeah.
Mind you, you'll be using one particular class to have your step definition, your page object, and you just get confused. They're like, in those days, I would sit down, I would like, I don't even understand this, but the way these guys also talk, you even understand what they are saying. Sometimes
do you know how many English video? I will be looking for English video. I don't see English video. So, but I find out that that's what everybody's using. So I just have to, they say if you can't beat them, you join them.
Look, I appreciate this method. If you understand this method, to be honest, using TDD is very simple. Once you understand, in fact, this one is more straightforward, that it's very easy for you to know where there's, if there's a mistake or there's an error, where you can easily locate the error and the likes.
And that's the essence of page objects. That's not what I was telling you. That with page objects is easier for you. The scalability aspect of it can things like that. So all these are interview questions. You just have to know the advantages of page objects.
You're right. You're right.
Olusegun, I'm in the middle of something. Give me a minute, yeah? Just attending to someone.
All right. So
in this case, what do I do on the page object? Like, is this same?
Before we can, that last, which one?
The
No. This last line 18, right? That line 18 is supposed to be your assertion. Is your assertion?
You're gonna have to cut.
Is your assertion. So let's quickly do a kind of exploratory testing. Let's do some funny testing now. Go back to the main page so that we know what the message is about. So you register using your name. Wait. The normal sign up. Let's do it the way you're going to sign up normally. So you enter your first name, so you fill in those things. So we are trying to, see what the real, what's it called? What the assertion is going to look like for the last test script, the last line for the test script. Use any password so that people will not see your password.
No, it's just random password.
Okay. Yeah. No, okay, then join. So what is going to happen? Click on join us. Oh, it will bring you to this page, isn't it? What can I use as an assertion here? Should we use the logo or that my profile? You can see that's my profile.
Yes.
Yeah, that word assertion means that you want to know the end result. That is the then, that the result of when you join us. When you immediately you click that join us, it brought us to this page, isn't it?
Yes.
In assertion 1, you can use the URL as assertion. You can use anything as an assertion. For example, this is a new page. I might decide to use that URL. I might decide to use that my profile. That immediately I click that, what really happened? My profile being a what's it called? Is display, or my upload photo. You understand what I'm trying to say? Anything you see on that particular fresh page is what you can use as an assertion. So that's my profile. You can expect it that right up alone. No, don't expect it that way. That we know you've highlighted profile here, so expect that one like that as it. Yeah. So mind it's a text, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you know that my profile is a text.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so you can also copy the expert then. No, not
So
yet.
do I need to change anything here?
No. You are going to your page object. You're going to your page object. So you can put remember it's a text, isn't it? You can write assert, then text. Oh, don't use that word assert so that you don't get confused. What can I use? Oh, let me see what I can think that you can use. Okay, write result page. Just write results. Just type result, or you can put result page. So automatically you understand that that is the result of when you click join us, isn't it? It led you to another page that has my profile as a text and the likes. So assertion. So there's a way you write your test method for assertion. So continue. Let me see what you're going to do.
Public bool.
Why do you want to use your bool? You guys, you know book. Why do you need to? Why do you want to use the bool? No.
That's the only assertion they know. But even
okay.
at that, which I think was it Olat that explained that bool to them. So I think that's what Olusegun is throwing back. So one of you should be able to explain that. This is the essence of all this. You people are saying we are not explaining. Even the ones we've explained, it's looking as if you people still don't know it. So, and I remember, I think it was Olat. I don't think I was the one that explained it. I'm very sure I wasn't the one. It was
So
Olat.
why do you want to use bool? Why using bool?
So one of you should be able to answer that, please.
Because it's true. It's
What's the return type? Very simple, true or false. I've just answered your question. So Temitope, don't worry, you continue so that I will not waste our time here. Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke
the person that said true, at least you have an idea. So even if you didn't put the first.
Temitope, don't use bool here. So everything is not bool. Write it the normal way. So I will now going to explain. Remember what we expected. Let me use that grammar. Wasn't something displayed, it was a text.
Yes.
If you should go to that developers, that page, we are not displaying an image, it is not displaying, what we expected is a text. My profile, that is a text. Am I right?
Yes.
It's a text on the, what's it called, on the page. If you have something like an image, a logo, then you can talk about display.
Okay.
But here is a text, so we are not using public bool. But normally, you're supposed to start with your public void, isn't it? So let's do it as a way you do it as a normal layman. Write your public void in full so that from there we now do the correction. I don't want to just give you direct answer so that, or at least let's write it the normal way you're supposed to write it. So what do you now? Okay, successful. It's not successful message, but successful profile page, isn't it?
Yes.
The successful profile page, but you write it together. I want to speak to you. I want to say you write it papo, or you write it together. Successful profile page. Yup. So Java the find element. result page, isn't it? Let's begin to write it the way. Okay, dot what? Let me ask you, dot what? Yeah, it's confused. Anyways, in order to save time, remember it's a text. We are not clicking, we are not sending keys, isn't it? Just put dot text. I know it's going to throw error. Your text, then semicolon, then what's it called? Semicolon. Wow, it's throwing error. Why is it throwing error? Remember, we said it's an assertion. It's supposed to return.
Return, driver.
Pardon?
It's meant to return.
What was it returning?
It's meant to return the text itself, isn't it?
Yo, wow. And mind you, that text can be a string, isn't it? So in that line 71, put return first.
72.
72 rather. Don't mind me. I'm saying, when you begin to see way to leave that text now.
Okay.
Or are you saying vision? Your semicolon. In front of that driver, that policeman called driver. Before that driver, so you put the return. Oh, okay. We're talking about assertion here. Let's go back to the step definition. It's still storing error. Yeah, don't forget, delete line 71. I could remember I gave you guys an assignment that you guys should go and learn more about different type of assertion, isn't it? I know we have n-unit assertion, and why am I saying all this nonsense? Anyway, we're going to learn the difference and how to use n-unit assertion. We also have fluent assertion, isn't it? So whichever assertion you like, you can use. Let's continue with the normal method we are used to using. So that one is the fluent assertion. Let me not use a unit assertion. Don't forget your mentor skid sign up page dot. Have you forgotten? Hey, this man that I invited to my house for Christmas. Let's use that method again. Yeah. What are you doing? Copy and paste it, then dot. I've asked you to call in your text method. What's your text method? You see that in your page object, isn't it? Successful profile page. So you now said should be true dot. Remove that semicolon or dot contains this. Right? Let's use contains first. Type contains, then open and close bracket, then you put a quote. Then go back to your, what's it called? What's that the name? The web page. The web page. This is my profile. Copy it the way it is. The text. So copy it. My profile. Then go back to your Visual Studio. Put it inside that place. Yeah. Is it throwing an error? Yes. Is it a string? Is it a string? Go back to your page object. So
why didn't you put assert dot? That
one. Yeah, no. That if you are using that assert method, that just means you are using the n-unit assertion. So what
do you want to use? You want to use fluent?
Yes.
Okay.
I know you guys will have taught them that one, but let them go and know all the type of assertion. So it's returning a string. Remove that void and put string there. Let's see what is going to happen. Zip, 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 zip. Move your cursor away. Let me see. Okay, so go back to your, what's it called again, step definition. Do you have any error? You guys are not talking.
No.
Are you sure? Let me see. Yeah, that's done. Wait, put back your, what's it called?
Why does it have error? It's on error. Go back to the page object. Is this the page object?
Where
is the error coming from?
There's no error yet. Scroll up. Let me see. Why do we have any error?
Hold on. I was showing red just now. Go down.
Is there anything that we've done so far? Click on that one error. Let me see. What's the error talking about? Oh, line 42 of our page object. What's line 42? Oh,
the PO.
Yeah. Wait. Go to your line 40. Yeah, change it to 0. Yeah. Can you see how I was able to locate where the problem is?
Yeah.
Good. So not only Temitope, hope you are able to see how I was able to, use the what's it called, different assertion. Remember, you can see how I turn, or how, let me say, how I change that void to string. Why? Don't forget that it's a text.
The text. Yeah.
Are you getting it now? So I love to teach someone so that I will not just tell you, yeah, public string. No. Most of us write the method that we know, we understand. The developer is looking at it carefully, isn't it? Then go back to your step definition. Step definition, you can see the way I've used it, that the only thing I put there is contains as my assertion, dot contains that thing. Yeah, as I've said, there are different assertions. If it is to use my, what's it called, NUnit assertion, then I can be using assert dot. Either are equal, is true, and the likes. Do you understand? If you like, don't answer. If you like, sleep.
Let them save and build and run it. Let's see.
So, save all, and yeah, then clean and build. After cleaning and build, then ready, then
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Yes, ask your question. Temitope will answer your question. Ask your question. Temitope is the one teaching us.
I think how many ways can we use to run automation? Because the method Rita teaches is different from this method.
In terms of
okay, hold on. What's the difference?
For the public void, the way I know it is not this way though. The way I know it is, first of all, I'll first create my feature. Then the next I'll create my base test. Then the next I'll create my page object. After the page object, I'll create the step definition. But what I'm bringing out is the one Rita taught us in the page objects. In the then we have contain. Let me try it. I can't remember now. Let me try to check.
No, check. I'm ready for anything. Check.
Yes. So if you had listened, we've been using NUnit for our assertion. Hence why is different from the ones you've been doing. So we've been using public bool. So Lucia gonna have used string using French assertion. So that's the difference here. Now, in terms of method, you can write if you like, you can write your step definition before you go and write your page object. If you like, you can write your page object before you come back and write your step definition. By the time you get used to it, you can choose to do it whichever way that suits you.
Yeah, that's what I want to know, because you know
Yes.
the one Rita told us is already in my brain.
Okay,
And
It's
sorry,
fine.
sorry. What's your surname?
Oh, what do you want to do with that surname?
No, I'm not searching you on Facebook. Okay, let me assume. Let me give a simple scenario. If my name is Ajekulaye Felix, and you also call me Felix Ajekulaye, are you not referring to the same person?
It's not the same person. Because Ajekulaye could be his first name. Yes, and Felix could be his last name.
But the
That's not even a good example. So when you put rope in the goat and you put goat in the rope,
rather than something is tying the rope, is tying the goat.
So don't worry. That's why I just keep saying, don't get ahead of yourself. Just relax. Now, I don't want to hear I don't know automation again. By now, everybody should understand this automation, because this is like spoon feeding. When they say spoon, and we didn't get this in our time. I did.
Nobody explains automation to me like this. So let me be serious with you guys.
You will not get it. It's not a course. It's not, in fact, if Mr. Deji was here with you tell you go, let them go and do research. You see all those questions. All those questions Davis put there. Davis would have come next week and be the one to explain it in the class to
everyone. Mr. Deji will send me. We will not even allow me to even be teaching you using the British police or using one.
And the truth is,
he will not even allow me.
Can you pause the recording? And the truth is, that's one way to learn when you do research. If you notice, Olusegun was saying the same thing. And when you write something down, that's how it sticks. That's how it assimilates. That's how you will remember. So if you want to use this fluent assertion, fine. But be mindful of when to use it. If you notice, I use NUnit using URL. When he used this fluent assertion, it was a text. So just know when to use it and how to use it.
Use it, exactly. You should know how to use it and when to use it too.
Okay, so when are we going to
run it?
When should we use it and how should we use it? When should we use it?
You use assertion at the end of your text. For example, you look at the word given, when, then. You use assertion at then.
No, she's saying when do
No, I mean, when should we use the NUnit and when should we use it fluent?
Anytime you feel like it's an open check. The one that you feel is convenient for you.
You're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Okay, let's run it, please.
This man run this test.
Okay.
Oh, are you feeling sleepy?
Never, no.
Are you sure?
Soldier don't sleep in the first one. They're on the battlefield.
This Mentos kit that is even this website on its own is dynamic. It's Olusegun's website. It's as dynamic as Olusegun.
Don't use this Mentos kit to continue to practice. So yeah, you notice something that it put on something ops, right? An error message. Yeah. Do you know why it's doing this error message? Don't forget that you've already registered. Oh, okay. It seems you guys know Buku. It's because you have already registered using this email address. So it's like you signing up again. So definitely there will be an error message.
So just put 1, 2, or 2, 3, whatever number there.
Yeah. So instead of using the normal password or Outlook that you use what's it called? Emmanuel@gmail.com. Change that thing from the what's it called?
Then on the features.
It's going to affect, from that features, it might affect, it might have effect on the step definition.
What did you put it on the step definition?
Remember, it's generated from that. Go to your features first. Namdi, go to your features.
Can
wait. Yeah.
When you say you generated it, how? What do you mean you generated it?
Okay. Instead of gmail.com, instead of outlook.com, use gmail.com so that we'll be able to run it once and for all. Go to your step definition first. Let me see something there. There's something I want to check. Scroll up. Wait. Last name, email address. Okay, it's not appearing. Okay, don't worry. So
Yeah,
one,
I don't know when you say you generate it. I was wondering what are you saying.
yeah, now I'm
You
trying
only
to
have
check.
it on your features.
So why is this one doing like this?
So even with what we did today, but when you get to advance, you know. So that one is even hard coding. But it's nothing for you people to worry about. If time permits us, I will teach you guys how to use that resource, but I think it will be better in advance, whereby you put all your
Temitope run again. Oh,
as
Okay,
it
should I
as you
save
run
her?
am.
Should I save her
yeah,
build?
Hi,
yes,
Rita.
now. Ask
Sorry,
your
I want to ask a
question.
question.
Ask Nathan will answer your question.
How is my own? You tried this
in
one.
real life,
Have you hold on, Jimmy? Did you save it? You know you modified your features.
Yes, I
Did you
save
save?
it.
Okay.
Oh man.
in real life,
We are in real life.
So who is dead?
in real life, in real life, I
Do me,
know
who
the
is
one you
dead?
taught us very, very well. As in, even if I'm sleeping, I know it very well. Then
So
if we go to maybe in our job, we they have their own method, or can we just use the method we are comfortable with?
Oh, yeah, let me answer that question. To be honest with you, at work, in my workplace, we're using what's it called? In fact, they are not even using SpecFlow. What I'm using currently at work is MS Test. Remember, we have N unit. As I've said, no, there's N unit assertion. The assertion we use is the one for MS Test assertion. So N unit has its own assertion.
Congratulations.
X unit has its own assertion, the same thing. At work, you'll be given, that's why I say at work, you don't need to disturb yourself. That's why I said, you don't need to cram anything. Every of the assertion that you're going to use at work will be given to you in your, test, in your, what's it called? They will definitely tell you the kind of assertion you will use. But however, for this level, you can know everything. So, congratulations to you guys.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. I don't want to hear, I did not know you too. You can see the number of hours. We've spent over more than 4 or 5 hours thereabouts. For those of you that have been here since 9 o'clock, almost 5 hours, isn't it? Somebody is wondering that why is this thing writing X? There's nothing like writing X there. It's passed. Any other question?
So I'm glad you said you know that method even when you are sleeping. So now that means you have a foundation. You know the foundation. Because even with what Olusegun did now, you will not be confused. It's just a tweak from what I did.
Yeah.
So that's just the essence of automation. When you get to a workplace now, you see a different thing, you will still be able to
do it. You'll be able to do it. There's nothing strange.
So don't worry about workplace. Just start applying.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so that comes to the end of our.
What happened? It didn't pass.
Why won't it pass? When somebody said that I'm doing a lie.
So why are you showing red? Is it only my eye?
Oh. Anyway, clean and build. you know the way Visual Studio used to behave now.
If the network is also slow, it will affect it.
But provided it has, as a matter of fact, display.
Let's do open test log. Let's see.
It might fail again, though. Don't forget the fact that it just changed the.
Go and change it. That's why I said keep using number. Just use number. Add 1 2 to the what's it called?
To the email address, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't change
do you understand, Temitope?
Yeah, I've taught them. Yeah.
Then instead of this, your Gmail, you can help me to put back the Outlook, though.
Why do you want Outlook?
Let him continue using the Outlook.
Who said?
Outlook.com. You've put one there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Rita, you've taught them so then somebody was now asking me in case they needed a random name and the likes. That person must be a politician.
It's Nathan. Nathan want to take my job.
So, all right, Temitope, why not run it again? Run it. Save, clean,
Nathan is ready to be a QA lead.
What's the time? And I have interview prep today again by 10.
It's good.
Rita, when are they finishing this particular Intel so that they can come to advanced and let them come and even relieve us.
Yeah, nearer to when they are rounding up, they will come and look at advanced.
Don't get scared. There's nothing serious in advance. So it's the same thing that we've just done here, but only that you have some project that you embark on.
I think this one is your network.
Maybe it's using a Etisalat.
Glue.
So you can see that it has run successfully.
Mm.
So if it brings any error on the Visual Studio, then you can go and you go and sell your laptop and buy network.
Yeah, well, we just check it and the open test log and see.
Yeah, it's open. You can see everything is displayed. Temitope, then the names and everything is working.
So is this the same page that you did the assertion on?
Yes, this is the
My
page.
profile.
This is the page.
But why is it not closing by itself? Still the same thing.
Open the test log.
Wait. The reason why it's not closing, let me answer that question. Go to your what's it called? Your Visual Studio, your base test. Remember, I commented out
we commented the quiz.
Why did you comment it?
Rita, I'm trying to so that they can see every of those lines, one after the other.
You can complicate matters.
No, let me explain. No. So that somebody will not come and say, Rita, they did not teach us this one. You can remove it too.
But go and open the test log just for us to.
So what is happening here?
Keep moving up. Down.
I've seen no such element is displayed. Don't use expert.
So it did the downward, the last one. It clicked on it. So
unable to locate that element ahead. That's what we're talking about. So instead of you using expert, you can change to. You can inspect that my profile. And
if you use NUnit, it will pass.
Yeah, I know. But it's complaining of using expert. So that is why you remember.
Let them go and fix it. Do yours and fix it. Then you show me on Wednesday. You can use NUnit instead of Fluent, or use another locator. Yeah. That's an assignment.
Even that error is telling them what to do. That okay,
exactly.
That policeman you sent, the arrested, that the criminal have arrested that expert, that I should go and send another police officer, another locator. Somebody should be able to do that. But however, it's very simple to do. But to be honest, it's about just as assertion, so you don't need much story. So that is it, guys.
Thank you so much. Can you stop the recording, Davis? Is Davis still there?
Probably in the other room.